No, he's about to come back, but now he's here.
Hey, I'm back.
Hello. I'm just saying when you talk to when you get a certain person back, and you talk through them with their struggle, I think that that's really cool and really awesome. But I think like this game like really had a lot to live up to because it was like, is this the last God of War game? Is it not? Like it really was left a weird middle ground.
That's what you guys are talking about.
Mario, you are muted at the moment.
Hello.
There we go.
Mario, man, I was digging the expression there. It was like you were just like, I don't like this at all.
Not a fan.
Pouty face.
Pouty face. But here we are. Hello, everybody. We are like live, and there's people in the chat already. Of course, most of our cast, FEMA cast, I couldn't make it today, is there as well. Hello, guys.
Oh, man. So FEMA really came out for everybody.
For everyone over there.
Dude. Like, what?
All right. Well, thank you guys for being there. Of course, Karl here early. See that? That was cool.
They're taking about young FEMA.
Yeah, they are.
They're taking about young.
Sebastian, if you don't know, of course, a running joke on the show is FEMA. Whenever one of us can't make it to the show, it's FEMA's responsibility. Is the reason.
yeah. Even if they're in Canada, like Fee. Even if they're up here.
That's right.
If FEMA somehow makes it through, you know.
They completely dropped the ball this week, huh?
They took out majority of the cast. So
yeah, they got out 2/5 of the cast. I think they did it pretty good.
Pretty good.
Year, or this time.
Oh man, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try bouncing this light this direction because for some reason it's just like two lights coming this way. It's just dark centered here because the light that's normally on I can't fix right now. But you know we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on with it. No.
You're embracing the dark side slowly but surely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Of giving in to hate. Hate leads into fear.
I think that's just Twitter.
That is just Twitter.
So you posted Karl's picture or his message as the pinned message?
That's right. I don't know what that's all about, Karl. I think you should get, I don't know.
Karl?
You know what? I'm not going to kink shame. Do you, Karl?
You know what? He's right now. He's doing his med school stuff. I think it just getting to him right now. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
That's what it is.
All right. Oh Lord. Well, we are on time. I think we almost got there right at 8. So that's actually very good. Very good. Let's see here.
Heck yeah.
Frank says digging Nick's TV setup. Oh yeah. What you got in the background there?
I just have a bunch of rotating video games.
Is that okay? That's YouTube. Animal Crossing.
I don't have any. Like I was telling them earlier, I don't really have a great setup in here because I'm kind of moving into a different room. But I've got Wait, this way. We're going over here. So that is a puzzle I did when I was 7 of Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Over there is a King Shadow, and I have others in the room.
Gotcha. Well, keep the progress going, show us that the next time we see you, you're gonna be living in a mansion like Blank Check, and it's gonna be fantastic.
Blank Check.
Yeah, remember Blank Check, everybody? It doesn't age well.
I remember Blank Check.
Do you remember when that kid kissed an FBI agent? Doesn't age well.
Very 90s.
In fact, very, very 90s. Okay, all right. So you know what? We're already here. Let's just get the show going. I'm very excited. I've already, Harv, I kind of, is it okay if I take over this week, host this week?
No, it's all yours.
All right. Yeah. I'm excited. Oh, damn it. I did the one thing that we try not to do in this podcast, which is if I don't fix the doc before the show starts, we can't change it. So I can't change that opening, but all right.
We'll let it slide this time.
You sure? I kind of want to do it.
Okay, then just, if you want to do it, then just do it.
I realized I didn't do that, so there's that.
The us, is it the Last of Us or the Last of US?
What's the difference?
What's the deal with the last of everyone?
Oh my god. Well, there it is. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this up and running. I just need the document in front of my face. And I think, I still got the music playing. Give me 1 second.
Apparently we can hear everybody twice.
You can hear everybody. Oh, you know what? Here, 1 second.
Fee is yelling at us right now. in all caps.
Okay, how about now? Are we good now?
Test 2, 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
Test 1, test 2, test 3 testicles. Hello, can you hear me now? Is it still echoing?
Echo the dolphin.
What's up?
No, you're good now. It looks like it's fixed.
It's fixed? Okay, cool. I think it's because I was watching what it looked like on another channel for a second, but good. Good thing we're good now. All right, cool.
Wait.
No, it's not fixed.
No?
Nope, it's not fixed.
No, it's not fixed.
Oh, weird.
You're not echoing. We're echoing.
Are we echo?
Yeah.
I'm not getting anything on my end.
Oh, I know
As
why.
far as that goes.
I see it. Now, how about now? How about now?
Test 1,
Okay.
2.
We're gonna talk 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I like a number 3 with extra mayo.
All right.
Is that the way you get your 2-piece combo?
No, it's just so I work as media for a college, and that's the thing I use to test.
There, I'm gonna watch our stream on another device, and then I think we're all right. Carlos says great. Frank actually
We're good.
texted me
We're
that we're okay. Cool. All right.
Good.
The audio
There's a-
source
there-
for some reason just suddenly played twice. Who knows how this works?
Yeah, because the delay is a little bit. Because I don't think you have it on the lowest, like the low latency, right?
I might have missed that setting. Yeah, I see it's on
Yeah.
normal latency. Well, all right.
Yeah. So it's a little bit delayed, but
Well,
we're good.
Enjoy the episode because we're about to start in 3, 2. Insert greeting here to the Point in Progress podcast, episode 63, your favorite podcast talking about The Last of Us, Persona 3, and One Piece. Let the progress begin. I am, of course, your host, that Mario Rivera. And yeah, this is going to be a fun one. You can already see there's some new faces here. This is going to be a little fun because most of the cast is captured by FEMA. Rest their souls. Hope they're resting easy. Hope they're giving themselves like a bread sandwich and a tent or some sort. I mean, that's what FEMA does, as far as I know.
That's what FEMA does. Yeah,
Yeah.
gives them a sandwich and a tent.
I mean, that's what they did for those Fire Festival people. That's how I know about them.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. That's how much I know about FEMA.
And before we get to the new people, everyone, I want to say, Harv, how you doing, Harv? How you doing, Harv?
I'm
I
doing
haven't
good.
seen
I'm
you
glad-
in forever because I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, you weren't here last week, so I've been doing well. I'm so glad it's Friday. I'm happy that it's Friday, and I'm ready for like the warmer weather to come back.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. Today
to
we
see the
actually
sun
got the
again.
sun. Today we got the sun, which I was very, very happy about because I live in Vancouver, which it rains all the time in the wintertime. It is just constant rain. I remember one of the years I think we had like a month and a half of just straight rain and no sun, and it was brutal. It hasn't been that bad this year, but
Okay.
I'm glad we got the sun.
The other person that sees the sun, of course, is a returning guest over here on the old podcast. You know him as Shotgun McPain. I know him as Nicholas Blaine. How you doing, Nick?
Listen,
Oh God, here we go.
friends,
It's starting
Romans,
already.
country thems. We're coming after.
I like that one. I like that last one. Yeah. Oh God.
We're gonna get them. We're gonna
Wait.
get them.
Out. Can the audience hear me? Oh no. Give me a second. Oh, okay. I'm good now. Hello? Can you hear me again? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Oh, you can hear me now? Oh my God. Okay. Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? So this is what happened. I was trying to say, me finger wagging at Nick for whipping out his lightsaber, I slapped on the wire of my microphone and it fucked it all up. So that's basically what happened. Yeah. So my bad. It is my bad. But we're good now. Thank you, Mike. How about now? How about now? Oh, no, I can fix that. Hold on. Here we go. Boop. Thank you for coming. Here we go. Let's all fix it. No.
I'm fighting off my
have to fade like
I'm fighting off my
again?
femur
All right,
employee
now
really
you
quick.
should be able to hear him. Now you should be able to hear him.
That's only for the three of us.
Yeah,
Can you hear us
Frank,
now?
Only for the three of us. All right.
That's for everyone. Everyone here.
Y'all text me. I understand what's happening, guys. Thank you.
I just want to be sure. I don't want to spam the chat with it. You know what I mean?
yeah, we were just like, Mario, you
Yeah, because I know you don't. I know you have your Discord muted while you stream. So
No, of course.
oh my goodness.
I think. All right, is it good now? Just want to double check.
Test 2. 1, 2,
Hello,
3.
hello.
Yeah.
all
yeah,
right,
they can
I'm
hear
gonna
it.
dip now.
All right.
Good luck, everybody.
See ya.
Enjoy.
Persona 3 is a good game. Bye.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. All right, cool. There we go.
Hold up.
All right.
Neat.
That's probably
Peace
going to
out.
get cut out of the episode. Just a heads up to everybody. I'm assuming the audio got dropped when I was finger wagging at Nick for whipping out his lightsaber unprompt. You need to apologize.
Out of context, that could be taken in a lot of different ways.
That absolutely can be taken out a lot of ways. So I'm going to try and avoid slapping my microphone again because that's very finicky. And so
It's time to get a new wire, Mario. It's time to get a new wire.
apparently maybe a new microphone. Is there a new microphone out there that everybody loves?
Oh.
I don't know. Oh, Lord. Well, now that we've done all that, we've welcomed Nick to the podcast, we actually have a very special guest joining us today. A very first time Point in Progress guest. First time in our Discord. Hey. Kind of funny best friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Of course, you can check him out at his YouTube channel and his website. His website's freaking amazing. At the Pro
Thank
Nerd
you.
Report Port. Of course, I'm talking about Sebastian Malden. How you doing, Sebastian?
What's up? I am excited to be here. My power level is above 9,000 because
Let's
I am
go.
here on this show. I am excited, absolutely excited to nerd out with y'all, to talk all things video games with y'all. All things, everything from the nerdy spear, everything. So I'm excited to talk about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Sebastian Malden. I am the Prince of Podcasts, and the Prince of Podcasts has finally graced his presence on the Point in Progress podcast. Glad to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know who I am Sebastian Malden. Like I said earlier, I am the host of the Single Player Experience podcast, the premier podcast where single player gamers can talk about all good things single players that we love, that we don't love, everything in between. So, that's a little bit about me. If you like what you hear right now, if you want some more, I got 2-piece in a combo right here ready for you. Just join me over at the YouTube channel and on my podcast, The Single Player Experience. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for gracing me with your presence. You actually had a milestone recently in the last hour or last couple hours. Your channel hit about a couple 900 subs. Is that correct?
Yeah. Hit 900. Very glad, very, very humbled. Thank you so much for everyone who's supporting me on this journey. We still got a ways to go, but thank you so much for all that.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Proud to be a subscriber now. Proud to be number 900. Hi, how's it going, everybody?
Yeah.
And on top of that, we also hit our own little milestone. We actually hit over 300 subs for our own private channel. Thank you again so much. We've been trying to build this for the last. Oh my God! This is year 2, Harv. Year 2.
We just started year 2. Yeah, we just started
God,
year 2.
okay, year 2. All right, here we are, trying our best every week. I just realized this was episode 63. That's wild.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Did you also?
Not 60 enough.
Thank you for that. Oh my god, I can't wait for literally 6 more episodes.
Yep.
6 more episodes. It's
Not
gonna
60
be.
enough.
Oh, you're not gonna be able to stop me on that episode.
We're gonna have to do something for 69. Something's
have
gonna
to.
happen.
We have
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Something's gonna happen.
No, maybe Third Base Club comes back. Remember we did that one time?
Oh, we did that one time.
Third Base Club, man. That was supposed to be our sex show that we were getting continued to do. We haven't done it yet. But we'll see. But shout out to year 2. Of course, yes, reaching the 300 marathon. I know that I'm very happy and I know everyone else is happy. So very, very nice. Before we get into the show, I do want to do just a little bit more housekeeping. We actually have a new game review coming very soon. I am the one reviewing it. I'm working on it. I can't tell you what it is just yet, but it's very excited about it. It's a very interesting game, and you'll hear about it very, very soon.
It's a video game.
It's a video game. I have to write it and then edit it, and then it will be out. So hopefully I'm not literally putting a gun to my head to be like, I got to do that now. So I have some time. I will definitely make the time to do that. So please look out for when that eventually does drop. Of course, last housekeeping here is I have a new show, not on this channel. Sorry. But I am teaming up with other Point in Progress cohort who helped, who's basically is a wonderful supporter over at PlayStation Source, Kevin Diaz. We're doing our own Last of Us podcast where we'll be talking about every episode for the foreseeable future. And very nice to hang out with Kevin on the... Basically, it's like me and Kevin are like 2 Chris Farleys, just like, wasn't that cool? All right, awesome. Wasn't this cool? Wasn't that awesome? But we do that for like 2 hours. So if you want to check that out, I'll probably try and leave the a link down below in the description if you want to see us talk about our first episode. So very, very excited about that. All right, I think we did all the housekeeping. We did all the introductions. Let's just go straight into the checkpoint. All right? Sorry, it's been so efficient. I had to fucking do something to break it up because we're moving. All right.
Okay, in context, we don't move this fast regularly on our
We
podcast.
don't. It doesn't go this smooth. And also not so smooth. So either way, so far we're having a good time. We're going to go ahead first talking about what we've been playing. And Sebastian, since you are our guest, I'm actually going to give you the first head. What have you been playing? What have you been dealing with? What's going on?
Okay, so lately I've been playing 2 games. I've been playing this little indie game, cute little indie game called Little Gator Game. And for the people who may haven't heard about this game, cute game, you play as a little wholesome gator who just wants to have some fun with his older sister who's doing her own thing in life. And meanwhile, you and your friends basically come up with your own adventures that you reenact around the island. And the game plays very much almost like Breath of the Wild in a lot of different ways. Like it has the climbing mechanic from Breath of the Wild, it has the gliding mechanic from Breath of the Wild, and it has the shield where you basically surf on the shield using your shield, just like Breath of the Wild. So it is very much inspired by Zelda, but it does well as making it its own thing. It has a lot of heart, and I really enjoy what this game brings to the table. It's not the longest experience in the world. You can probably beat it in maybe 3 dedicated sittings of playing this game. But if you like Breath of the Wild and you want something more chill to play, I definitely recommend Little Gator Game. And then the other game I've been playing is a little game, just a small game. You probably haven't heard of it. But it came on Game Pass recently. It is Persona 3, because Persona 3 and Persona 4 came to Game Pass. And as a person who's never played any of the Persona games but Persona 5, hold on. But Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, I was loving going back to kind of see some of the origins and maybe some of the early gameplay mechanics and kind of the early evolution of what made one of my favorite games of all time in Persona Royal so special. So, and it's been fun. I'm loving to see these characters, these different cast of characters in Persona 3. So having a good time playing Little Gator Game and Persona 3.
Okay. Let's talk about Persona 3 a little bit, okay? The Persona series in general.
Mm-hmm.
This is a series that, we already mentioned that Kind of Funny Best Friends. I learned about Persona entirely through the one and only Greg Miller. who then I did not know was that Twin Peaks, or sorry, God, I already ruined my own thing. Persona 4 is just Twin Peaks. And so the fact that, yes, that now we have access to that off the Vita, thank God, which it came out, I think, last year for Persona 4 specifically. I think 2 years ago.
I think it might have been the year before.
I was still at DualShockers when that came out. So yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely was the year before.
Yeah, it was about 2 years ago. But then last year we had that announcement basically that Persona 3, Persona Royal, all these were coming out. And not only are they going to be out on Xbox consoles, but basically everywhere. So you can basically experience them any way you want. And I was very excited about that. So in terms of your playing and going from being a Royal fan, what are your thoughts now jumping on something that is sort of the precursor to the modern Persona games?
Oh man, it was very much a wake up call because like while it does have some of the nuances and gameplay mechanics of Persona Royal, it is like stripped away of some of the key features and basically game friendly features that really help players in Persona Royal like avoid that grind. The grind is more so there in Persona 3. But albeit like everything's still great about it. Like the characters are still great. It tells a really interesting story. You kind of get to see like a lot of what made Persona 5 great just in a more stripped down old school, almost like an old school art style kind of version. That's the way I'm picturing it, at least. You know, like I know it's an older game, but I'm like, hey, this is just Persona 5 with a filter on it. That's the way I'm kind of like envisioning in my head. But like, you know, like a lot of the things that made Persona 5 great are still here, but you know, like missing some of the key, like I guess you could say like key features that really made Persona 5 less grindy. So I'm loving it so far. I'm only probably like 6 hours in, so I'm not like fully into this, especially considering if it's as long as Persona 5, because Persona 5 is like 120 hours basically.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I'm loving what I'm playing so far though.
Fantastic.
I wanted to say, so I believe the Persona 3 port, I think that's the portable version, right?
Yeah, it is Persona 4 3
Have
portable.
you noticed just going from Persona 5, is that something that is super jarring, like that it's more of a visual novel than it is like Persona is?
Yeah, the lack of like control where you kind of don't have that free roam ability where you can't move around it was jarring at first because like yeah, it is a visual novel game almost to the T, except when you're in the Tartarus system where you do get to move around like, you know, basically like you can throughout the whole game of Persona 5. But albeit, you know, I'm used to playing a lot of indie games, so that visual novel concept kind of like just seems natural. And you know, even though this feels like I guess you could say it kind of feels like it should be a modern-esque game, it does have a lot of those mechanics, that throwback mechanics. So it kind of has the best of both worlds there, because like this game is portable like for a reason, because like this is the perfect Steam Deck game. This is the perfect like Switch game, like absolutely. So I think that kind of stripped down visual novel-esque feature about it kind of makes it stand out a little bit.
As a treat to myself, someone actually at my day job tipped me $20. And so as a treat to myself, I decided, okay, I'm going to use that. And I got a copy of it. So I have it on my Steam Deck. Very excited to explore it a little bit further. I, of course, I have played Persona 3 I played this specific version of Persona 3 in different ways because someone did give me a PSP not that long ago. And so I was able to download it before the store went down, and I was able to put it on the PSP, and it was very fun to play this small handheld with my large giant hands. And then therefore I was like, you know what, I'll stop, and then hopefully eventually they port to some other wealth, and I got my wish. So now I get a chance to play this on my massive Steam Deck. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And Fee in the chat, obviously, please play a Persona game. You'll love them, I swear. If you love point and clicks and you love adventures, and yeah.
Persona's a fee-ass game, just in general.
It's a
like it doesn't
fee-ass game.
It doesn't matter if it's Persona 3, 4, or even 5 Royal, right? Do I need to play? No, you don't need. They're all separate.
They're all own stories.
Yeah,
they're all own stories. If you're looking for something that has like that is the most recent, it has all the good quality of life stuff. You want to go Persona 5 Royal because that's not all the quality of life things.
Yeah,
I play. So Persona 5 Royal was my first Persona game. I put I think about 130, 140 hours into that game when I finished it. And then I played Persona 4 and I put in I think 50 hours into that game.
Mhm.
That game is freaking awesome too. And I'm sad. I'm just so sad that I like stopped playing it because something came up or other, and then I stopped playing it. But like, man, I want to go back to it at some point. But then I'm afraid if I go back to it now, that I don't know what's going on. So like, do I want to start over? But that's like 50 or 60 hours of gameplay
man.
that I don't.
Tell me about it. I have a couple saves in that game as well.
You know, I want to also shout out like the fact that this is on Xbox Cloud Gaming. You know,
Yeah.
the fact that it's
Yeah.
that accessible to everybody, basically. So you can play this on your PC if you want to play it like that via Xbox Game Pass, or you can play it on your console. You can play it on Steam on the Steam Deck without even having to buy the game if you just download install the Xbox app via the Steam Deck. So this game is more accessible than ever before to everybody, and I love that. Absolutely love that.
Yeah,
No.
I think too, like if you have a Steam Deck, even streaming it through you know
You do keep cutting in and out.
Move your microphone.
sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Put
Yeah,
the Jedi
sorry.
next to your face.
Yeah. So yeah, Steam has a cloud connect that you can use, but I think it's really easy to just be like, okay, just do the dialogue, just sit in your bed and just
Mhm.
let it, because there is a feature where you can just let it go
Yeah.
and it just keeps going. So just watching that part, and then when you need to grind, just go and play it on the deck.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious because I also have the dock for the Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm curious like how I'm gonna experience it. Mostly on the go at work will probably be the most where I'll end up playing it. But yeah, at home, I don't know. I'm curious because like I have it now and I didn't start it yet. I had it all day, so I'm curious. I wonder if it is just gonna be my on the go game, which means that I'm gonna be playing this game for 7 years. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right. Harv, I gotta know. You're back on your soul shit. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on with Sekiro? Let me know.
So I told myself that I want to try to beat my record that I had.
That you had? Okay. All right.
Well, I already beat it, so but I'm trying to do better. So my record in Sekiro to beat that game, the Immortal Severance ending, which is just the normal ending, it was 56 minutes. So I beat the game in 56 minutes. 2 days ago, I beat it at 50 minutes and 48 seconds. So my goal is sub 50.
Man.
I'm hoping to hit that this week or next week. I'm really hoping.
Okay.
So that's what I've been working on. I've been trying to find, because like what I stream usually is just Soulsborne stuff now at this point. This is what I want to do. This is what kind of streamer I want to be. So like I'm just trying to find fun ways that I can make Soulsborne game content kind of fun to watch and kind of fun to chill with and stuff like that. So that's what I've been doing.
When are you gonna introduce the dance pad? You know,
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
Or you could do the only kick run like Ain did.
or the kick only run. Dude, that guy was Palladium for 4.5 hours doing that fight. It took him 4.5 hours to do that fight.
It's wild.
I don't have the patience for that. For when it comes to the dance pad, that would be fun to do. I think Sekiro would be really fun to do on the dance pad because of how much you have to like parry in that game.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty fun to do. But I wouldn't be able to speed run that though. That's just
Okay. Well.
One of my friends had mentioned something that was like kind of hit me the other day, that Millennia would be a great Sekiro boss. Like, and I just like putting it in that mindset of like doing the Makiri counter and all that. I'm like, oh my god.
No.
Yeah.
She would be a great Sekiro fight. And then there's a fight in Sekiro which would be a great Souls boss, which is Demon of Hatred. Right?
Yes.
That would have been a great Soulsborne boss. So like Palladium is a fun fight. It's a fun fight. It's just there's one move that really is the worst.
Devastating.
It's the worst. But I mean, even the developers were just kind of like, yeah, we kind of overtuned this just a little bit. Just a little bit. I think the entire back half of that game, the last 25% of that game is, I think it's just so overtuned that it gets really, really difficult. If you could get very frustrated for the last 25% of that game, 100%, because the bosses do so much damage, and you could have like such a big health bar, and they'll do like half your HP. You're like, how am I even supposed to survive this if I had that much HP? What?
Yep.
Sebastian,
With
do you
Donkey Kong.
oh no, I haven't read the chat. Sebastian, do you get down with Soulsborns? These Souls likes?
I like them. I'm not in love with them. We date frequently, and then I have to find another. Find another basically because I like the initial start of it. I like that wonder. I like being the lowest man on the totem pole, but like. I need a story and a narrative structure to really just grab me into a lot of games. And without that kind of like motivator, a lot of the times I go awry. So like I really enjoyed this past year. I enjoyed Elden Ring. I enjoyed shout out to Thymesia, another Soulsborne indie game. But like I enjoyed games like that. It's just like the narrative structure is a little bit different from what I'm accustomed to from the Red Dead Redemption's, God of War, Spider-Man's, narrative pathways that I prefer in gaming, to be honest. So I like them. I understand why they're as big as they are. They're a phenomenon for a good reason, but like not quite my genre, but I do like playing them. I think maybe I'm stubborn and I play them as a single player, so maybe I should try Elden Ring as a co-op experience, and maybe that would gravitate me a little bit more so.
There's a great co-op mod out there that is seamless
Yeah.
co-op, which is awesome, and you can play the entire game with somebody or with 5 other people if you want to, and then it scales up for how many people you have in the game.
Oh wow.
Yeah. From Software games are like a friends with benefits for me, where I keep going away, but then I keep coming back to them, and I'm just like, okay, well, we're back here again, I guess.
Is it the Ashton Kutcher? Oh my god, who was the? I don't even know.
Mila Kunis.
Well, no, that's the other movie.
with string, no
Wait,
strings attached.
Justin
Are you thinking of
Timberlake?
that?
Justin Timberlake is
Justin
Mila
Timberlake
Kunis, and then
Oh yeah, right.
Ashton
and then
Kutcher
Natalie
is-
Portman.
Yeah, I think so. What?
Yeah.
They were in a movie together?
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
I think the big thing that keeps like story narrative based people in is like when someone does finally who is like so who wants a narrative finally does beat a Souls game, and then seeing like Vati Vidya and all these YouTube videos like that are like internet historian, but for the Souls games, as they were. I think it really helps flesh out the world, and it's honestly a really interesting way of discovering the narrative, because there'll be certain things like in the gameplay that you'll notice and be like, they'll say something that in an item description somewhere, or even in like an offhanded description anywhere, it'll say something to the tune of this person was a part of this person's gang or whatnot. And it really opens up like, oh my god, that makes sense. That connective tissue was always there, and it was just an enemy that I was killing. Like, I think that is such a interesting evolution of the narrative structure. That's how I like really connect with it.
Hearing you say that makes me like realize that this is how non-comic book fans have been feeling this whole entire time when I try to explain to them like, hey, oh my god, this guy's going to be Nightwing. This guy is going to be such and such, such and such. And I'm like, now I get it. I get how it feels on the outside looking in, where you're just like, oh my god, this is a lot like of information in my head is spinning. Like hearing that and hearing like that, there are people who explain this just like I explain, like this person's going to graduate and become Charles Xavier or Magneto. Now I get it. I completely understand that.
This is exactly what I feel when somebody explains Naruto to me. I'm just like, what? What?
Listen, that little, especially One Piece. But this little guy right here is going to be something someday, and you'll see it. That's how the entirety of like Souls game feels. It's like this little thing that you fought once ever, that is connected to this big thing that you're going to fight later. Like, I think that's so powerful, and it just gives me chills whenever I figure. Like, oh my god, I didn't even think about that. But the one question I wanted to ask, there is a game that came out last year. I think it's called Steel Rising. Did you get a chance to play that, Sebastian? Because I think that might be like more of your speed, because it does kind of have that narrative structure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Steel Rising. I think it does do a lot better as far as like just being more of a traditional way of telling a story, but like, so I gravitated towards that a little bit more. So I was playing that game faithfully, and I think something else like caught my attention and kind of drove me outside of it. But I want to go back and show it some love because I think it is more so up my alley than a lot of other Soulsborne games have been. But I'm curious because like one of my most anticipated games coming up is Lies of P, and it seems like it's just going to be a Soulsborne game with a Pinocchio like skin on it, but like I am so enthralled in everything that I've seen about that game. So I think that game might also be the one to like really just introduce me into this genre and make me fall in love with this genre.
For sure.
Can't wait for a giant whale to turn into some other creature of the night.
Yo, imagine Monstro as a Souls boss. Are you fucking kidding me?
With cannons on the side or something.
Oh. He's already a Souls boss, so yeah, it makes sense. Sure, why
better
not?
than the fight in Kingdom Hearts fight.
I give you that. I'll give you that.
World and Kingdom Hearts.
I hated that fight. Absolutely hated that fight.
Sounds so bad.
I do want to update everybody in the podcast. It was Natalie Portman, Ashton Kutcher, and No Strings Attached, Mila Kunis, and Justin Timberlake, and we're friends with benefits. So
That's like
there you go. It turns out they became more than friends with benefits down the road. Okay, moving on. We're gonna go with Shotgun. Shotgun, what have you been doing? What have you been watching? Oh, sorry. What have you been
Oh
playing?
boy, what haven't
Yeah, what have you been playing?
I been playing? Actually, playing. I haven't played too much.
Okay.
I do want to give a little shout out before I get the main game that I've been playing. But I've been playing a lot of battle royales with some friends. Fortnite.
Where the fuck's my invite?
Yeah, say where we dropping? I'm down to play.
All right.
So yeah, I've been playing Fortnite. That's been really fun. The new season's really fun. But a couple, I think maybe like ago, I edit for a YouTube channel called Norza. We do a bunch of like RPG build related content. Anyway, we got a sponsorship for this game called Naraka Blade Point. And
we're aware of Naraka Blade Point in this podcast.
Oh, cool.
Fee and I got into it for a while. I know Fee got really, really into it.
Fee, if you're still here, this is your segment.
Oh man, Fee, it's so good. So I started out and I had edited that video and I was like, oh, this seems like pretty fun, and something that I would be really into, but I just didn't do it until this like maybe about December, and a couple of friends of mine and I started playing it, and I'm like, this is real good. This is a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. And my friends play it a lot more than I do, but man, is it such a fun game. It's very much basically the through line is, if you don't know, it's a battle royale, much in the style of Devil May Cry and Sekiro. And it does have that very interesting parry system where you can parry weapons out of people's hands. They have a variation of weapons. The customization is really cool. I do think, like, for it being a $20 game, I mean, I think you can get it on Game Pass still, but for being a $20 game,
I think it's on Game Pass. It should be.
Okay.
It's on Game Pass.
That's where I played through
it.
It's
$20 on Steam.
Got it. That makes sense how I was able to play it then. So I was just
the
like,
problem
is it free?
is
No, it's on Game Pass. That makes sense.
The problem is if we lose it on Game Pass, then you have to start over on Steam. So that kind of sucks. And like even like in the way of like getting skin, all this, like it does kind of feel percent. So sort it out in Rocket Blade Point develop. But other than that, it's super fun. I think the loot box system is a little much. I think like the microtransactions are a little bit much. But the gameplay itself is very fun. You get a couple of friends. They have like very much have different characters, so where it's like a, you like an Overwatch or a Valorant, where you have different characters with a different hero skill, feel, their combat structure. It's really fun.
I like the weapon system in it. I like how some weapons counter other ones. It's got a really interesting system. Some of the heroes do feel, in my opinion, are a little bit broken. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But but I think the game itself is it's a pretty good fleshed out game, and I like the traversal. I think the traversal is probably my
Traversal's
favorite
really
thing
fun.
in there because you get to swing like Spider-Man in that game
The
and stuff like
grappling
that,
hooks?
and the grappling. Yeah, it's a
Oh.
lot of fun. It's a lot of fun
Mhm.
doing it that way. But yeah, I played it for a while. It was a good game. I enjoyed going through it. But yeah, the monetization of that game is not great.
Egregious. I will say it is
Yeah,
egregious.
but
They
it
not
is
only have a loot box system, but they also have a battle pass.
yeah,
like-
but it is. I think it's Korean.
Thing.
Which would make sense because their monetization is usually like that when it comes from the east, right? When it comes to China, Korea, and stuff like that. So,
And I do think that they I don't know if it's just the fact they have to, but they do on the loot boxes say if you open up 50 of these or whatever, you are guaranteed this skin.
yeah,
So it
it's
does
like
at
what
least give
Apex
you-
does too. Yeah,
Yeah, it does at least give you. I don't know if that's because legally they have to do it. There is,
yeah.
but the gameplay is a lot of fun. Just want to jump in and
Okay. Feet.
all of the pass stuff.
You're cutting out.
Do
In
you
and
have
out
a
again.
noise gate or something?
Maybe I don't think I do still.
I don't know.
Just
I'll-
a
I'll-
clarification.
Yeah.
This was published by NetEase Games Global, which is a Chinese company.
Yeah.
So it's Chinese.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's from
Got it.
China. Yeah,
Got it.
which is they're going through their own thing right now. I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys have seen that thing that's happening with them
Oh, with them and Blizz.
with Blizzard. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Fee has said, of course, if you want to play with them, they are absolutely down to play. Though I'm pretty sure, Fee, did you say you deleted it off your system? I'm just going to call you out right now. I think you deleted
I know. I deleted it off my system.
it. I won't see that
Oh.
message for 5 minutes. So.
I forgot to add one thing to my thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, what's going on?
Go ahead.
Here, while you're adding that, Nick, what else have you been watching? What else have you been consuming?
Playing. The other thing I've been playing is Dragon Quest VIII.
Okay.
Started it on a whim the other day because I really like the Dragon Quest games and I love Akira Toriyama art. And I've been meaning to really dig into it. Dragon Quest VIII was a game that I rented when I was a kid. But as a kid that didn't necessarily like turn-based games. It didn't really hit me. And like playing this game now, there's no way I would have got it. Because it's not just like the turn-based aspects of it, but it's very much where you have to talk to everybody and they will tell you where to go. And
it is the
only
old
once-
school RPG.
Yes, 100%. And it very much there's times where I'm like, I need a guide for this. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck to go. I just fought the hardest boss in the game that I just fought,
And then
and
you have
it
a
doesn't
random
give you-
NPC says you have to go here. What are you doing here?
Yes.
It's like, oh wow, okay, you could have told me this 3 hours ago, man.
Exactly. Like they don't tell you in the cutscenes whatsoever. They're like, you might want to go here, but they don't like ever directly say it. But like there's this one NPC that's in a shop, not the shopkeeper. The NPC that's in the shop with the shopkeeper will tell you, hey, there's a boat over there if you want to go.
The funny thing, like Final Fantasy 7 and 8 have the exact same thing. I think in 7 you have to talk to this guy that's in a building, and if you don't talk to him, you can't progress through the game. Like you have to talk to him, and it opens another door, and this guy's just in a random house somewhere, and you're like, what?
But I don't think like even those games were as bad as like Dragon Quest VIII is. Like Dragon Quest VIII is so like I feel like every time I had to be like, what am I doing here? But it's super fun. It's super jolly. It's not like, even though it is a high stakes game, it doesn't seem like it for most of it. It's very like not a cartoony kind of feel, but definitely a you're on an adventure rather than like a Final Fantasy game where you're this like Cloud or whatever. Like I'm trying to like think of
Clearly, you have not played Final Fantasy 15. You're just a bunch of dudes
True.
on an adventure.
Final Fantasy 15 is probably the closest to a Dragon Quest game.
You're just
but,
you're just 4 dudes on an adventure, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the
Well, I
bachelor
think
party,
like
y'all.
Prompto, but they have like the nobody understands me sort of aspects to it. Like I think like where Dragon Quest is like we're on an adventure, I guess the world's gonna end. Like,
Yeah,
that's kind of the feel.
I have a whiskey glass of the slime that I
Oh,
ordered.
nice.
And it's like a little thing that just kind of goes back and forth. It's very, very cool.
Fucking feet
Yeah, and
calling
I
me
played-
out on Twitter. On Twitter, it shows me that it's still installed on the system.
So let me ask y'all, as a person who's played Dragon Quest 11, Echoes of Elusive Age, I feel like it's also a problem of I don't know where the hell I'm going a lot of the time. I'm like, is that a Dragon Quest thing? Because like I'm hearing you talk about 8 and Elusive, like Echoes of Elusive Age. There was like parts of that game where I was just like, hell, everything looks the same. I don't know where I'm going. I'm like, who do I talk to? Oh, I talk to this guy. Oh, this opens up this part. I'm like, oh, okay. So now we can continue on our journey. I'm like, this might just be a Dragon Quest thing, bro.
I think, I mean, I've only really played Dragon Quest 8 and 11. I played a decent amount of 11, and I feel like it's not as bad.
Okay.
I think there probably is a certain points, but that was just, again, your experience may vary. Personally, I did not have bad experience with Dragon Quest 11, but like Dragon Quest 8 is very noticeable. Or like more than a couple of times I have to be like, where? Like, who do I talk to? I'm like, I've seen this.
You're just the
person
John
in
Travolta
other-
gif.
Yeah.
We're-
Like arriving in every new town like that. Yeah. So it, but at the same time, it's super fun, super chill. There obviously it being a game that came out in the early 2000s. There are some parts that don't age really well, especially misogynist part that don't really age very well. But besides that, like I think like if you can get past that, I just want to. Yeah, you can get past.
We could already add the disclaimer. If you go back to play Persona 4, some shit don't age well in there. I'm sure there's shit that doesn't age in Persona 3 as well.
Yeah.
So we'll
The
go ahead.
way Persona treats
Kanji?
LGBTQ character, just period. Even in Persona 5, I would say. Like, you know.
Do better.
So just be on the lookout.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Harv, since you've added a last thing here, I'll let you go and say what this is. So, what have you been doing? What's this?
Okay, so I've never played Minecraft in my entire life.
You fucking what?
Never played.
I haven't
Minecraft.
either.
What? We're starting a
It's just-
server
it-
tonight.
It's come and gone now at this point. I'm done.
Fee,
I
start
can't.
that
I'm not
server
going
for us.
I'm not,
Pick
I'm,
Wait.
server when.
I'm with Harv. I'm like, we've lasted this long.
yeah,
you know,
I'm not. I'm not
Your
going
abstinence
back.
from
I'm not going back.
Minecraft.
I respect the tenacity.
It's just like okay, one thing. I'm not a very creative person when it comes to those kinds of games. So like, I don't know what I would make.
Okay.
And that game's all about making things, right? That's
Mhm.
pretty much what that game is. And then there's some
you
some ender things.
It's about lo-fi chilling with the homies, as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how I remember it. But it is what it is.
So I jumped into Minecraft Dungeons for the first time.
Okay.
So this is the closest I've been to Minecraft. It's a good game. It's a very good game. It's a great turn your brain off Diablo style dungeon crawler. And it's awesome. It's one of those things where you can just kind of if you just want like a chill night and not worry about like turning your brain off or like turning your brain on, just like play that game. It's got a really cool loot system. It's got the story is whatever, right? It is what it is. It's like the Diablo story at this point, So like
Valid.
you go to all these like different places and like there's like a tower where you can go all the way to the top and like there's 25 levels and so it's just kind of one of those things that you do once per week. So they have like weekly quests and stuff like that and daily quests. It's really, really cool. I really enjoyed my time with it. This kind of gets me excited for what's the next one? Minecraft Legends that's coming out
Legends, Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
soon. And now I think this is getting me excited for that.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. It still doesn't get me excited to play Minecraft in general because I don't think I'm ever going to touch that game. But like
All right.
so when I play games, I need structure.
Yeah.
We
Right.
Same.
could do
Yeah.
the non
Minecraft doesn't have structure.
No, there is. We could do like if we want to do like a Hunger Gamesy thing or like do like a sort of like not creative thing, but like games in the world of Minecraft is possible. But then at that point, let's just go play Roblox. No, I'm just kidding. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I've never
either.
played that one either.
No, fuck it. Neither did I.
No,
Shout out to
no.
Carl Jacobs for making a living.
You know what?
from
Instead,
doing
instead,
Roblox.
instead I'll just go play Fortnite. You know, it's just
Hell
better.
yeah.
It's just
Okay,
better.
you know what? Fair enough. We settled for it. We got Fee in it for a second, so that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I played Fortnite with Fee one night.
I'm so mad I didn't do
played
it. I didn't do it during the
Yeah,
break.
you were. Yeah.
Well, I'll probably lose
Is it
out.
too late for me to try Fortnite?
No.
Oh,
Hell
no.
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 Hell
No.
The thing about that game is so ever changing. There is so many things that they add, or with every single there's a season.
Yes.
It's like a reset.
Totally different. Yeah.
Totally
Yeah, it's a
different.
whole reset. So like you jump in, everybody else is looking at it fresh as well. So like you can just jump in and play the game. So
The
There's
no
a
builds
reason-
got me interested a little bit.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
that's
but
what
was
I
just
play.
like, ooh.
If you're past 25, you're probably playing more builds. Like
Yeah.
that's got like I play with my my little cousin, and he'll be like, "Can we play build?" I'm like, "Buddy, cool."
I'm beyond the age.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, I want to play as Ash Williams and like Crush Noobs. in
Yeah.
the Battle Royale. So.
See, that's also the other thing, right? That's something that'll probably draw you into Fortnite is also like when they drop skins and stuff like that. It took me everything in me not to buy the Dragon Ball Z skins.
Ooh.
Oh, I was right there with you, and I
See-
don't even play the game.
Yeah,
I would have bought the Dragon Ball Z skins, but they don't have Trunks or Gohan. I'm waiting.
Oh my god! If
I'm
they had
waiting.
Trunks, oh my god! But I did buy the Dragon
Yeah,
Ball Z
it's
skins.
done.
I did buy
they had
it.
Vegeta.
My
Vegeta's my
Hero
favorite,
Academia.
so
Yeah.
they had Vegeta, but I didn't buy it because
Bought
at the
the
time I
Terminator.
didn't have a job, and I was like, I can't afford to do that. And
I had
yeah.
Predator.
sadly, I've already spent $1,300 on this game. That's what
RoboCop.
my thing is
I
right now.
believe it.
So
I
I
believe it.
can't keep going. Can't keep going.
I don't want to look at what I spent.
Oh lord. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's super easy to jump in, play, and it's like most battle royales. If you've played a battle played.
Yeah, and they keep adding fun things like that, motorcycles and like other different things you can do with it. So,
And they do add like themed parts. Like at one point they had an Indiana Jones part last season where if you finish this certain puzzle, you would get the Indiana Jones skin if you had the battle pass.
yeah, no,
Still.
I like how much it keeps constantly changing, but I also like how the game itself keeps adding mechanics as well as
Mhm.
like different functions, which is to me
Yep.
it blows my mind every time. So I'm excited to see when eventually they hit like chapter 3 of this thing. Eventually, what the kind of game they came, and it kind of got an overhaul this year with the
5.1,
the 5.1 with
Unreal Engine.
Unreal, which it looks
Oh, it looks beautiful.
literally looks
It looks
unreal.
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 It really does.
So definitely worth a check out.
You know, I'm tempted. It's just one of those things to where I'm like, I have so much in the backlog
Of
already,
course.
and I'm like,
Of course.
the
It
more
will
time
kill
I-
your backlog.
Yeah,
You will
that's
not
what I was
have a
just like-
backlog anymore.
Yeah.
I've been very diligent, other than like my black spot, which is like Bloodborne, of like
Mhm.
mowing through everything that's on my backlog list. But like
Yeah.
I for some reason I just like, man, I got Bloodborne just sitting right there begging to be played, and it's like the thing that keeps me up at night that I never actually went back and actually like beat that game. Yeah. So it's one of those things to where I'm like, Fortnite seems so appealing, but then again, I'm like, if I'm gonna put some time into something, I should probably do Bloodborne some justice.
It's really a fun game to jump in with a couple of friends. And
Mhm.
kind of like the same thing I feel with Sea of Thieves. I've obviously Fortnite gives you more to do, I would say, in terms of like actually like physically like where you have a goal.
Do you like boats? I like boats.
Yeah, I would say Sea of
Also
Thieves
like
is really
boats.
fun. I feel like the perfect chill game, whereas like Fortnite is like the chill game, but also you have to pay attention to what.
I feel like Sea of Thieves would be a great game to just have like a smoke section on. Just
Yes.
go in
Yes.
the boat. Just like how's it going, man? You know,
Like
It's like the lo-fi lounge, basically.
Yeah, lo-fi lounge. You know
my
what?
dream
Frank,
blunt rotation.
Frank, if you're still in the chat, download it tonight. All right, we're gonna play it later.
I'll play some Sea of Thieves, and you know.
All right, moving on. I'll go really quickly what I've been playing. I haven't been playing a whole lot of games because, like I said, I've been working on a review for the channel. But the games that I've actually been playing, I've been playing a little game called Hurdle. I don't know. Has anybody heard of this?
What?
Hurdle? You've heard of it? Okay.
I was very good.
Isn't this like Wordle but not?
It's
It's Wordle, but for song.
That's what
it's
it is,
Spotify basically his version of Wordle. I got into this because my partner is obsessed with this, and
Yeah.
they love music, and so they are they basically tricked me into playing this every night because there's a new song every 12 o'clock and Central Time, luckily. And yeah, I've delved in. I've been doing pretty well. There's some days where I'm like, I know that song in seconds. There are times where I know that song immediately, or I don't know the song at all, and it's I suck for the day. But ultimately, to explain it just a little bit for the people that have not played Wordle or know what that is, Hurdle essentially is you go to the website Hurdle, and they play 1 second of a song. If you don't know what that is, you can press skip or add, or I think what it is, and it adds 2 more seconds. To
I think it's skip. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like skip, right? You get like 5 tries, and then eventually you get to basically, I think you get like 16 seconds of the song before you have one last try, and you have to get what that song is by typing it in. A lot of times, if you have an idea of what it is and you type in the name of the artist, if the artist's songs
It'll
don't
pop
pop
up.
up, then you know that it's not even remotely
Yeah.
that. I think there's something with like it lighting up if I did the artist but I got the
Yeah.
song wrong.
So if you get the artist right,
Mhm.
it does a yellow X.
Yellow X. Okay.
Yeah, just be on the lookout for those yellow X.
You know, so I've been playing that. They like to put Imagine Dragons on there a lot, and there's always like the bad Imagine Dragon songs.
So I want to say, I think Spotify.
Which one are
ruined
those who don't
Hurdle.
know?
Yeah, all of them. No shame. But I think the biggest problem is when Spotify bought Hurdle,
Uh-huh.
because after that, it feels like they cover the same artist every like 6 or 7 days. Like
Yeah.
I got Vance Joy at one part, and then like the next Thursday it was still Vance Joy. I'm like, what? And like previously it was like from all different decades, from every which artist, and I was very good at it. And then like when Spotify bought it, it's like, yeah, here's Louis Capaldi, I guess 7 times. Like
Yeah.
I'm like,
Ed
oh man, it
Sheeran.
just ruined that. Ed Sheeran, yeah,
Harry
that
Styles.
one.
You know,
Yeah. So like,
I loved it when both me and my partner, who it was what was it one day? It was oh my god, she ripped off Paramore. What is her name? Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh,
And we didn't listen to their music, and so
Yeah.
we're just like, I don't know who this is. It's like, oh, okay. But they kick my ass every night. It's always at 12 o'clock. They send me their score, and I send my score.
Do you feel like you get more than you miss?
Now I do, for the most part,
Mhm.
but a lot of times it is a lot more popular songs,
Mhm.
which ends up being, lesser in my favor, obviously, of knowing more and more pop stuff. I try to keep up. Hence why I'll be talking a lot more about music this episode. But ultimately, I'm having a good time just having the experience. Like a lot of times we'll when the new Hurdle comes out and we're sitting on the couch and we're playing together, and then we're like, it sounds like this, it kind of feels like this, Then like once we get to that last thing, we'll either commit or skip it. The one time it was Neil Diamond, and I was like, I know this, I feel it. Is this the Monkees? Because I was like, is this the opening to the Smash Brothers commercial from 1996? I was like, it ends up being "Ba Ba Ba" by Neil Diamond.
yeah.
So
Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah. Boom, we got it. See, you guys got Hurdle, so go ahead and start playing it.
See, that's it.
Yeah.
So that's Hurdle. On top of that, my partner was like, "Hey, I know you suck at music, but you're a big fan of movies.
This is what I want to see your score at.
I'm fucking a master of framed. All right,
I'm so fucking good at framed.
I'm so
dude.
framed. I'm so fucking good at framed.
I'm so framed out,
So framed,
dude.
man.
So,
Yes,
as a movie buff, I feel like I'm missing out on the conversation. What is framed?
it's the same thing as Wordle, where it's
Okay.
instead of music clips, it's different frames from the movie that gets more obvious as it goes along. So,
Oh yeah, I'm in.
yeah. So it's frames basically you like the one that it made me so angry that I did not get it in 1 click or 2 clicks, and it was when they did Alien recently, and it was
Same.
because I was like, is this Aliens or is this Alien?
I went through all of them before I got to Alien.
I was like Aliens and then Alien, and then I got it on the 3rd try. But basically, it's the same thing. Like they did Batman versus Superman not that long ago, and I was like, I know this piece of shit from anywhere. I'm just gonna click that button.
Yeah.
Type that in. But yeah, no, I'm.
So how
I'm
many guesses do you get?
like 5? I wanna say?
6. I think it's
Okay.
6. So they each time they give you a different frame.
Yes.
Okay.
By the way,
So-
I got Face Off so fast.
I was disappointed at how late I got Face Off.
I was like, Castor Troy, I know that name. Let's go. So it's fun to have the dichotomy of my partner is very good at a hurdle and I'm really good at framed. And so therefore, we balance that out. So definitely, if you are a fan of that type of format, having a audio version or a visual version, that starts every midnight. So it's yeah.
I just want to show.
What's your
score.
score? Oh, they actually keep track of your score. Do I have to set up?
Yeah,
an account?
if you hit like right up here,
Uh-huh.
it'll show you your score as long as you keep the same.
Oh, they
Hold
keep
on,
the page
I
up.
gotta try-
I definitely
Yeah.
don't have that.
I always.
But I'm gonna say I'm baller.
So
Oh,
I have had
shit.
33 consecutive days. I missed one day, and it was just a film I did not know. But 168 consecutive days.
Goddamn.
I'm very good at.
What do you remember?
97%.
What was the one you missed?
No, I think it was some Russian film.
Oh,
And the other thing that does help me is the fact that they don't really do a lot of older films. Like if they did like a lot more older films, I'd probably be screwed.
I
but
got fucked over from a movie called Cake a couple weeks ago
Cake,
because I'd never
yeah,
seen it.
I saw Jennifer Aniston. I'm like, oh, I
but
remember
saw,
this cover.
But I thought I saw Jennifer Aniston. I was like, the next frame is gonna be Jake Gyllenhaal. It's gonna be that fucking shopping girl movie that they were in together or something. I don't know.
I guess Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Another one for the gamer in the room is guess the .game. So here's
Is that Dragon Quest?
no.
That's not Dragon Quest.
So yeah, guess the .game is basically the same thing, but it gives you frames of video games.
Weird.
oh,
Budokai?
So that no,
All right, I'll look into
yeah, it
this.
does look like
guess-
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, yeah.
it's not. It's maybe
No.
an N64 game.
Oh, we can. I can't tell from your
I-
camera. It looks.
I was about to say it's kind of blurred. Well,
Yeah.
hold on. Is that Diddy Kong?
Did he sing?
Oh,
See, see, and
Let's
that's
go.
that's the joy of it.
That is
That's
the
the
joy.
fucking joy of having framed and hurdle
Here, I'm-
and all that on your phone and be like, yeah, you got it.
All right, I'm gonna.
I
text-
recognize the rainbow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't recognize the elephant.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Posterdle where it pixels out a certain movie poster and then like it slowly reveals it over. Although it kind of does cheat because once you get to the end, it's like gives you a little bit more and you can blatantly see the poster. So
Oh yeah.
All right. So that is everything that I've been playing. Everything that we've all been playing. There's a lot of games out there. Keep playing. Never stop playing. But now we're gonna go ahead and move into what we've been watching. And you both put that. Oh, you both put that on there. Okay, fine. We'll do that too. Before we get into the main topic, probably that we all collectively have seen, Shotgun. I'm gonna go ahead and let you. I'm gonna let you spit for a minute because you got some stuff going on here. Go ahead. What have you been watching?
So, as somebody who is playing Dragon Quest, I need something to watch because this game is hard. This game looks like a child, but I don't know a single child that would be able to play this game. So, while I've been playing through Dragon Quest, I decided to go through a series. I've been looking at rewatching, not rewatching, sort of. I've been looking at a series to go back to, and it's been One Piece. So I watched the 4Kids dub when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed it then. I really love pirates. Pirates been kind of like a thing since I was a kid, where I just like got really into Hook, got really into Pirates of the Caribbean,
All right.
all that.
All right.
So my kindergarten teacher said I'm gonna write pirate books one day. Let me tell you, that did not happen. There's still time. There's still time. But anyways, so I started One Piece, and I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll enjoy it. I'm like, it's such a long grind of a show. There's so many episodes, but you know what? I'm gonna start it and get through it. And man, it's a lot better than the 4Kids
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't realize how much the 4Kids dub changed. Like I was like, oh, like they can't swear, like there's different voice actors. Like I understand, but like when I see things like they didn't have guns in the original one, they didn't have like the voice acting is so much better in the Funimation dub. And even just like down to like the storylines of like like when you get into Arlong Park,
Oh,
that
so
sort of
good.
yeah, that whole story with Nami and her sister is like so deep, which I think is like really missing or lacking in shonen anime recently. Personally, at least I guess like Demon Slayer very much does cover that, but like your My Hero Academia is more about power, like it's more
Mm-hmm.
about like the Dragon Ball esque dealing with real issues. Where I feel like I was actually surprised by One Piece and really dealing with a lot of interesting topics. And honestly, I only committed to watching one a day. But since I've been grinding Dragon Quest, have been in fact that I am up to 64, episode 64 in a couple of weeks. So I'm really into it. But yeah, I think the other thing that triggered it was seeing One Piece Odyssey coming out. And I was like, man, this like an actually anime game. And then realizing I kind of don't get the whole picture unless you've like watched up to a certain point. And I'm like, oh, what's that certain point? Yeah, episode 532. I'm like, well, I'm gonna keep with it, but we'll see if we get there because will be playing One Piece Odyssey when it's on. Yes. uh, but all intents and purposes, that game is good.
Okay.
I'm so happy you've gotten into One Piece because like it is so good. Like you are just scratching the surface on how good One Piece is because like it explores so many heavy themes of like war and how war affects like the people around you. It explores like racism. It explores
Yep.
like discrimination. It just basically explores like it has elements of PTSD and it has elements of like every season deals with elements of grief in different forms and different facets. Like this is to me, I think, one of the best written pieces of literature like in our time. It is absolutely killing it. Like the people who read the manga can attest to this. Like it is way deeper than most shonen shows have any right to be. And like I grew up as a person who loved Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Z was
Same.
my favorite anime, and I thought it was like the king of animes. And as I grew up, I still like Dragon Ball Z and for like what it did for my love of anime. But like as I've grown up, I realized how flawed that anime is in comparison to some of the other like animes that have come out since then, especially One Piece, because One Piece has grown and evolved, whereas DBZ is the exact same saga and exact same story over and over again. Like like we know we're gonna find an enemy. We know Goku's gonna eventually save the day, whether it be through Goku or whether it be through like the one exception is Gohan. But even then, they can't give him that credit.
give
They
him
can't
that
give him the
arc.
flowers. They can't
No.
give him the flowers. But like One Piece is so different in this fact that like when a character loses, there's repercussions there. Like there is gross repercussions in that world, and like if Luffy and his team loses, like they're like drastically changed from that point on. Like nothing is the same ever again, and everybody feels like they learn from their mistakes, and like Oda evolves these characters over time. I can go on a rant for hours about One Piece, but like it is fantastic. Everyone, if you haven't seen it, try it out.
I have a question for both of you. Hold on. I have a
ahead.
question for both of you. Now, our favorite streaming service that loves to make these anime adaptations and cancel them is going to have an adaptation of One Piece. What are your thoughts on that?
Just stop. Just stop.
Please stop.
Maybe
Please.
maybe make like more like the Dragon Ball superhero type stuff where it's like a 3D animation and you can do that, like do different stuff that you wouldn't be able to do in regular animation. Do not adapt live. Like it just doesn't work. It never will work because it's so focused on the styling, especially One Piece. Because I think the one thing that I've seen that a lot of people really relish, and I thought it was really cool, the fact that the body proportions in One Piece are just everywhere. It is quite literally.
You're just talking about Nico.
Parts. Yeah, well, I mean, let's be also fair.
Nami, man.
I only know that name because Hassan Piker brought that up, and that was it. That's all I know.
The one problem is all the women look this. Like that is a big problem. I feel like all the women kind of like.
He's got a type and he sticks to it.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that it just doesn't work as well. I think like the one there's exceptions, but it's like parts of the live action stuff. Like I think in the Death Note live action, Ryuk looks awesome, but it is not a good movie. Like there are so many like good parts of it, anime movies, but I think that they just anime adaptations that it's not about this necessarily just about the story. It's about how the story is conveyed, how visually it is being told. I don't think like regular, even with VFX, would be captured. So just stop live action, cut it off.
You know, if to play devil's advocate here, if they wanted to continue doing live action, they should do it in more. They should choose different genres. Quit doing shonen. Like shonen is where you have like all these larger than life like adaptations. Sports anime is perfect for that kind of genre because like if you look at like some of the cool sports anime, like Blue Lock is one of the hottest animes going on right now, and it's just about them playing soccer, and it's just about them. It is a Hunger Games, almost like Hunger Games meets a soccer like environment, and that's all it really is. And so it's battle royale soccer, so to speak. That is perfect for this type of show. Like if you just get the Squid Games people to make a Blue Lock kind of adaptation, it's perfect. It's chef's kiss. Like you would have it made because like that, and I would probably say MacKinnon Ippo, where like it's just a pure boxing anime. That's all it is. It just have like a couple of guys, you know, and have like a whole like gym portraying the boxers in the gym, and you got it made. Like quit doing shonen. Like do sports anime and then do rom-coms. Like rom-coms like Fruit Basket and Rent a Girlfriend, perfect for that.
A Spy Family live action.
Oh my god, Spy Family? What?
Would be so fucking good. But again, I think the other part is the fact that the animation does get better. Like it does even in the sports anime, like the animation, the hyping of even like the sports anime where they have if you're you know using a fist or you're
that wind effect
kicking a soccer ball, you're really like not getting the full effect of like the hype of anime. It just would not work in like you would almost have to make it like Scott Pilgrim-esque to where you almost I think Scott Pilgrim is the best like anime quote unquote.
I think that's going to be the problem is that everyone has to do an Edgar Wright style for every anime adaptation, and I don't know. Like, I just don't know if they have them in them. But
I don't even think, not even just in the style, but I don't know if everyone has the ability to pull it off, because I think Scott Pilgrim is just so like one-to-one with most of what it's saying. And on top of that, with stylings, but I think Edgar Wright has there to do it. I think you know, we just ice it for a while. We keep it under wraps. You know, maybe we come back and there's an animation style or a live action way of doing things that weren't. I think what would be great is to see more anime movies in the Spider-Verse style. I think that'd be fantastic, amazing. Especially recently seeing like movies that have aped that, like the Puss in Boots movie, Bad Guys.
What is
like
I
think
the Kid Cudi movie that just came out? That also
the Intergalactic is fantastic. So yeah, I think that styling would lend itself to it, but I don't think like a live action. I think expand the world. Don't reiterate.
Well, I mean, I just had a thought. Like, have any of y'all seen Vinland Saga?
No.
I'm aware of it. I haven't.
Oh my goodness! It's just like Viking. It's basically Viking stuff, very Game of Thrones, but it's anime version. Like I would love to see what the Game of Thrones team at HBO could do with like that IP in live action, because all it is just the show Vikings, just anime style.
Well, I look forward to when I eventually get my Netflix adaptation of Yuri on Ice. I'm very excited for when that eventually.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would work.
I was gonna make a joke of how many do you guys think there's gonna be as many parts of Attack on Titan as there are Kingdom Hearts games?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
God damn, Fee's not here. All right, the body's in.
Imagine
No, she's there. No, she's there. She's there.
Attack on
Yeah,
Titan
she's there.
0.2 final chapter prologue.
365 over 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh my.
They are
God.
milking that for everything it's worth.
Moving on. All right, Shotgun. You have a few more things you want to quickly tell us about those?
Yeah, so I do want to get into a couple of things.
Fuck!
One,
She's here.
Okay, here. I'll give Fee the platform.
You motherfucker. You came for my fucking gig mentioning Attack on Titan and commenting on that. Nah. Yeah. Is there a lot of parts of the last final season? Sure, by all means.
4 parts? I think we're at 4 now. We're at 4.
Okay,
right?
first of all, we're at the final part 1, okay? So I know.
There's like 3 of them, right?
Okay, no, Harv. So, okay, let me let me explain. So, there's season 4, there was part 1, then there was part 2, then there's part 3, technically part 1 of part 3. So it's
Oh my
part
god.
3, part 1. Because what has happened is they're splitting the last section into 2 segments, and for that reason,
Mario.
I legitimately, I was being very kind. You guys talked about One Piece. I'm like, okay, you guys are talking about anime. You guys are talking about Vinland Saga, and like
I love
live
Vinland
adap-
Saga.
And I'm
Vinland
like,
Saga's good.
fucking amazing. But you bring up Attack on Titan, you summon me out of the
Yeah.
And
What
I'm
is this?
out
What is
here.
this podcast?
Fuck
The
you.
episode that me and Fee are on is the episode where you want to talk about everything we love.
Harv, FEMA can't hold me back when you're talking and dissing Attack on Titan.
I just soloed FEMA, flawless, HQ.
I can't even. What the fuck?
We're gonna team
what-
up on them next episode. Next
when I
episode, we're
saw
about
that-
to fucking tag team them.
Dude, when I saw that headline of Attack on Titan, I was like, oh my god, this thing is just gonna keep going forever. We're gonna have kids, and this thing is still gonna be ending.
And it's gonna be fantastic. Oh my
Could be.
god.
I want to just be on the record saying that I have no qualms with Attack on Titan other than I know the ending because the only thing I've read was the last chapter.
Alright.
Spring.
So Harvey, right now you're saying like Attack on Titan is going to be the anime version of The Land Before Time, where they just have a chapter in chapter.
Exactly.
Oh fuck, the Land Before Time, or even Ice Age. Ice Age doesn't die either.
Oh my
God,
god.
this went off the rails. All right.
I
See, the difference between me and Fee is I've lived with this. This as a Kingdom Hearts fan, I live with the saga. Just keep going and having weird names. Like I'm just like, yeah, this is funny at this point.
I can't. I just can't. Okay, I'm gonna go back to what I was doing for a little bit.
A little
But
bit.
yeah,
Okay.
a little bit. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your.
It's funny because Fee's supposed to be
Joy
working
Fee.
on something. I'm just sick.
I'm working on something right now. I have this on. I was working on my thing, and then someone decided to shit on my favorite anime of all time. That's fine. It's okay.
Fee.
I'm
It really
cool.
is a fantastic anime, to be fair.
No.
Hold on,
To be fair, we tried to get Harv to watch it, and he watched like one episode, and was just like, "Okay, we'll watch it tomorrow."
I want
Never
to
again.
Okay, to preface everything, I'm not an anime person. I don't watch anime, so I watched the first season because Fee's like, you got to watch the first season, and then I think we all had a watch party for the first season, and I was like,
because
okay,
I told
this is-
you we have to
it was
watch
cool.
the first.
It was great.
Yeah,
It was
the
great.
first season's great, but then it like starts like really ramping. Okay, you know what, Harv? I'm gonna bring this back. You fucking told me to watch Seinfeld.
Oh,
Seinfeld
yeah.
doesn't get
Oh.
good
Yeah,
until
Seinfeld is
4
honestly the
fucking
anime of,
seasons.
like, IRL,
And you want to bring
honestly.
me back on me and say, "Oh, I tried to watch 1 season of Attack on Titan." Bruh, I watched 4 seasons of Seinfeld just for it to get good.
My-
Yeah.
my-
Let's be real here.
My bad.
Seinfeld is just like live action anime when you think about it.
I just want to say, I mean, the guy keeps screaming, the main character keeps screaming at the start of every episode, and it's just like, come on, man, we get it, dude.
I hear
What do you call
Alright,
Kramer?
alright,
Kramer just
alright.
screams.
Hold
Exactly.
on. Hold on. All right, enough. We'll have another
Honestly,
episode.
Jerry
real
is just
quick.
Aaron Yeager. Let's be real here.
All right.
When does
By the way-
Jerry make his transformation?
Oh my god.
He's regular person by day, comedian by night.
Oh my god.
Do you know
All
when
right.
do you know when he changes? The freaking Kenny Rogers fucking chicken shop episode where he like has the red light beaming into his
Kenny
apartment.
Rogers?
Like, I don't know what it is.
All
I just
right,
came in here
all
to
right.
tell everybody
Guys,
watch
thank you so
Chainsaw
much.
Man.
Thank you very much for being here. We'll be here for another 3 hours. We keep fighting.
To be
I want to say thank you for coming back and defending the Attack on Titan honor.
We're glad you're safe.
Glad you're safe.
my God.
Glad you guys
Yeah,
are good.
FEMA can't hold us back. Honestly, it's more of a vacation than anything.
Fee, thank
We're
you for
coming-
taking
we're coming
the day off so you can work on the thumbnail for the episode.
Yeah.
They feed us. They feed us pretty well here, actually.
Oh,
The
you know what's
pork
gonna
chop
be?
sandwiches.
You know what it is
What's
now?
gonna be?
This entire this podcast, it's gonna have a freaking shrine to Attack on Titan as a thumbnail, and
Chainsaw
y'all
Man
can't
too.
fucking stop me.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
but
Fuck
throw
you
Chainsaw Man in
guys.
there, Fee. Just throw
Yeah.
anything Mappa in there. Why not?
Yeah,
I
you
love
know-
Chainsaw Man too, though.
Man,
Fuck
oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sebastian, we have to
Fuck
have you
yeah.
on an episode where
Yeah.
I'm not actually physically dying.
Yeah, you know what? I would love to have just a sit down conversation about anime for like 3 hours.
Point
So
out-
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
let's
down.
just-
this
I am
summer.
absolutely down.
Hell yeah.
But also in the thumbnail, can you put like just a tiny Jerry Seinfeld, like maybe with like a copyright
Wait.
logo next to it too?
Can you
Uh,
put Jerry Seinfeld? Like, is there a shirtless picture of Jerry Seinfeld? But can you put Aaron Yeager's jacket on him?
Oh my god.
Or maybe like Seinfeld getting eaten by a Titan, you know?
All right, I gotta kick you out. I,
love
have
this.
to.
I love this.
Fucking hell.
Bye.
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 Oh my god. Attack on
I'm
Titan was
sorry,
not
I'm-
even in the fucking document.
It's about to get even better. I'm just gonna say once I get through two more shows and a couple of movies, we're going off to the races.
If you can, be quick about it.
I'm
That's all
loving
I
this.
ask.
I'm loving this.
off to the races, hey.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah. So One Piece, real good. I'm enjoying my stay.
We're back on One Piece.
Also,
Fuck.
yeah, I'm just.
I forgot we talked about One Piece.
Yeah. So One Piece, real good. I watched also started and finished the 90s show reboot, or like the reboot, the sequel series.
Wait, is
Oh,
the
the
entire
90s
show
show?
already out?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a Netflix show.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep, the first season is out, 10 episodes. I think in terms of adaptations, or not adaptations,
Continuations.
for so long,
Sequels, yeah.
yeah, sequel continuations. Like, I watch a lot of them honestly because I'm chill. If I've seen them before, I'm like, I gotta kind of watch them. Like I watched the iCarly sequel series, and I'm like, it's not very good, but it's fine. This one I feel like has the most heart and is actually like the most serving and good. I don't think it's gonna blow your socks off. I think especially in terms of what sitcoms are nowadays, I think it's very lacking. It has a track, like, which I still I'm like,
That was, you know what, that was the weird thing about when I was watching How I Met Your Father. It's got the same
Yeah.
thing too. It's got a
Mhm.
laugh track as well.
Yeah.
it's just so
Yeah.
jarring in 2023 to track, which does also concern me about the Frasier reboot. Not also the fact that Kelsey Grammer is a person that does
Yeah,
things,
that's
and
saying it lightly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So I think the 90s show has a lot of heart. I did at the end kind of leave me wanting more. I also looked and I was like, I'm like, like back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of like people who weren't teenagers were cast as teenagers. So I was like looking at like, okay, like comparatively, what are the ages of this new cast compared to the previous cast? And like Ashton Kutcher, I think at the beginning was like 20. I think some of them were 18. Like, so
Mila
it's like
Kunis
kind
was
of
like
that.
14.
Yeah, Mila Kunis was the women.
Of course,
we're a little young. We're a little young, I will say, like comparatively. But anyways,
Hyde looked like he was 40 during that show, though.
he was 22.
Damn, that's it.
Yeah. So, but like, I don't know if it's because I'm older or not, but I was like, these kids seem like pretty young. Like, I'm like, they must be like something. Like, one kid in there is like 13. Like
wow.
So like, the main girl is 15. The girl next door is 17. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, like they actually got teenagers like for this.
Okay.
And it's really cool because it actually plays off their dynamic, and it feels like, okay, like this is an actual like teenage struggle and yada yada, rather than, hi, I'm 30 but I'm also 12. Like, but it actually feels, like very very similar to how that 70s show is. I think they give a lot of the old cast members a lot to do in terms of like of just Red and Kitty. I think I have a lot of great parts. Some of the actors come back either for cameos or their days in the series. In the first episode, you kind of get most of it. Eric, Donna come to drop off their daughter for the summer, or like not for the summer initially, but drop off their daughter with the grandparents. Red, and then she's like, I've met people here, I want to stay for the summer, and that's basically the premise. They do have some characters that are like the relatives of someone, like they have Kelso in series, but most of them are like brand new. There's a part that Fez plays that I thought was really good. Given not again, Wilder or Valderrama, maybe not a great person, but
but he gave me your mama, so it's all forgiven.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the one who is in such a little part in the show, but it still is Tommy Chong as Leo. He's so fucking funny in every single part he's in. And at one point, they go to a video store and they're looking for clerks. And he's had clerks checked out for 6 straight weeks. And instead of they go to Leo's house, and instead of giving them the tape for clerks, he gives them the tape, his pitch tape for the real world. It's so funny.
That's great.
It is so good. And there's like so many great bits in the show. I do wish they gave the teenagers a little bit more to do. But I think like they can kind of flesh that out but I really enjoyed it.
Okay. I was hoping.
So
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Oh,
no.
I was going to ask you. Okay, I was going to ask you, is there any moment in the show that's greater than what I think is the best moment in that 70s show where like they were trying to find out like whose panties was in like Eric's like station wagon? I think that episode was probably my favorite episode, and like the wheels just kind of kept spinning and spinning as the mystery kept unfolding, and like I think that was the best episode of the original show. Is there any moment that like reaches that high?
I don't think so as it stands right now. I mean, it's only the one season, 10 episodes, not as long as like a network sick.
Got it.
But I think like a lot of it right now is like, I've never kissed a boy. And,
No.
like, they do actually, there is an episode. So one of the characters in the show is gay. And he's trying to figure out how we can Kitty. I've got this like 6-step plan. Yeah, I got like the 6-step plan of like I'm gonna talk to strangers, I'm gonna talk to people I kind of know, and then what I think about the people I really know, and then parents. So like that is actually powerful, but I don't think if anything that far yet. Or like trying to introduce the characters, dynamics, right? I think it succeeds on a lot of that. It really does. And obviously, they make like the joke of like we're in the 90s. What is more set? Like they do like if you know 90s culture, like there are some things there. But I think a lot of it is watching series. Yeah, again, it was something that I was watching besides One Piece when I was grinding in Quest to State. But if you put it on, and you're a fan of the original show, it does actually also call back to a couple of things too. So it's a fun show.
Very cool. Very cool. My jokey question was going to be: is Glenn Howerton show up as Eric's cousin because he was in that '80s show?
God, it would be so fucking.
There's time. There's sequels. You know, there's sequels, so we could see like that.
Yeah. What's your
You came back to say that his microphone was messed up, but he's been having noise gate issues. Is that it?
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I just wanted him to say that.
I saw your thing. I just ignored it.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to.
That sounded more mean than mean to me. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna
Okay,
leave now.
I think this is a little better.
All right.
But I appreciate it, Fee. Yeah. So, yeah, it's really good. I did enjoy my time with it. The other show I wanted to talk about is Reservation Dogs. I've been catching up on, and that show, like, FX is just HBO now, where it just produces gold. Reservation Dogs is no slouch to that. I'm really enjoying my time with that. Basically, the pitch is it's a lot of indigenous kids growing up on a reservation, and family dynamics and stuff. And if you've seen an FX show, you can kind of know what it's going to be like. But I think it does a really great job of really taking care of what they're trying to say, I guess. And Taika Waititi, I'm not sure how involved in it he is, but he is like a part of it. But yeah, I think all the actors are fucking fantastic in that show, and I cannot say enough great things about it. And the last thing I want to say is that 2022 was the year of things holding the fuck up. Because holding it fuck up to the hype, I guess I should say. Because I waited until the very end of 2022 to watch two films that were very much hyped up to me. One of them, I was so scared because I'm like, man, I really don't like the first one. I think like the fact that it's DOJ propaganda basically also was not great. But man, what a fucking movie Top Gun Maverick
Fuck yeah, it
is.
is.
Like,
Yeah.
Let's go.
oh my god! Like I started it out because I even talked to my mom because my mom watched it first, and she was like, "I don't think you like it. Like I thought it was like it's like the first one. Boring." I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, that's kind of what I'm thinking, and I'm like, the internet's gonna hate me, but I don't think I'm gonna like it. And man, like it starts out like that. It kind of does like start out where it's just like, oh yeah, this kind of is like cheesy and yada yada yada. But by the end, like the final set piece, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the final set piece, what I think is the final set piece, is so good. And I'm like, man, they're dodging through those little paths and all that. It's so hype, and the build up is so good. But then when the other thing happens, and then they go back, that's fucking gold. It's so good. I think that movie is so deserving, and it's the fact that everything is practical. And most everything. There's one part. That's not practical. What are we talking about? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to spoil anything. Let's just say someone comes back and they don't sound very good. But I understand. Yeah, so I think it's very cinematically fantastic. The cinematography is fantastic. I think the story, the screenplay is really good. Like I'm blown away by how good Top Gun Maverick was and how enthralled I was with it. Just like the fact that it's just like hey, like living up to legacy and all that. I think it really does a great job of telling that story. But the other one,
sorry,
other film.
I tried to do what Frank told me to do, which was to play the Top Gun theme song while he was talking.
Yes.
I struggled to get it done before he finished, but
that's funny.
I got played for a second.
Do you want me to continue to
good.
talk about it.
No, we're good.
Top Gun Maverick, really good. Yeah, it's a fucking fantastic movie.
good. It's
The
done.
soundtrack is really cool.
Okay.
But the other movie that was very good, I think is one of the best action movies. No Cap is one of the best action movies of all time.
I have this movie ready to watch. I have not watched it yet.
Same.
I want to
Harv?
watch it.
Same.
Harv, Mario, Sebastian. I assume you haven't watched this as well, but I'm not gonna. Whatever. Watch RRR.
That's right.
It is 3 hours. It feels like 20 minutes. I thought, and I was worried that this was going to be a bit like I was worried that people were going to be like, oh, this is a cheesy action movie, and it's like the things are so wild that they do. It's so like crazy and yada yada yada. But like, I genuinely love this. I think like the way they tell the story, which is like, obviously it takes some liberties, but like is actually based on a true story, and is I think like the way they tell this friendship dynamic between two people who are on opposing sides for different reasons is really good. The friend, like, again, best friendship not only I think of 2022, but one of the best friendships ever cinema. I think that there are points that not only does is the action good, but the action is complementary to the storytelling. And like I jumped out of my seat, and I had COVID at the time. I jumped out of my seat legitimately like 3 different times in this movie. It's so fucking good. If you can get a couple of friends too to watch along with it, it's a lot of fun because then you can all just bask in the joy that is RRR.
So there's different ways you can watch this movie, right? There is the original way of watching, which is in Tengaloo, which is that's how it was made, and that's the language that they speak. There's also the Hindi way you can also watch it as well, which is the Bollywood version. Tollywood is the Tengaloo version.
Yep.
I don't know which way I want to watch it because, like, okay, so as an Indian person, I know Hindi, so I would understand everything that they're saying. But then when it comes to Tengaloo, I don't really know that language, so like I wouldn't know what they're saying. But I don't know which way I should watch this movie.
I personally watched it in Hindi. I started out with the dub because I was just like, maybe I'll just like put this on and like have the dub. And I've watched a lot of like Bollywood movies. I watched like 3 Idiots, and
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. And we watched recently Bamastra, which was not as good of a movie. I saw that in theaters, but you know, whatever.
If you want a rip off of Hitch, there's a movie called Partner, which is just it's one for one, just Hitch.
There's so many.
The Will Smith.
There's oh my god, there's that Tom Cruise movie with Cameron Diaz. I remember when I
Night and Day.
Night and Day.
Night and Day?
I remember when I worked at the movie theater, and then they played Bollywood movies, and I watched like 10 minutes of it. I was like, wait a minute. This is just Night and Day. What the fuck? Like, but more dancing. This is awesome.
Well, because Bollywood movies,
Bollywood
movies and all Indian movies, I think, even Tollywood and stuff like that, they're considered musicals, right?
And RRR is no fucking different, and there's such great musical.
That one musical number, I forgot what it was called, but it's like I think it got an award as well for that song, for the movie as well. So at the Golden Globes.
Yeah. It holds up. Yeah. Like, again, another movie where I just like so many people were like saying it's the greatest time, and I don't think it's one of the greatest movies of the time, but it's like it surprises you. Go in with no expectations what it's going to be, or go in with like no understanding of what, because I think it really really gets you into it. Again, I would obviously look into the history afterwards, with which I tweeted out. I think that there was like I was like literally RRR puts action movies made in Hollywood to shame, because it does so much with so little, like just in narrative, like it weaves narrative points into the action. Like it's so fucking cool. But I tweeted that out, and then there was actually, I don't know if it was a bot account or whatnot, but there was an account that tweeted me right away, like replied to me right away that was like, hey, if you're interested in it, here's the history, and like actually like they gave me a good bullet points of like what what was true and what went on. Obviously, like I think it starts out very heavy, where like the colonizers are very racist and very like basically take one of the people away, and so that's part of the narrative. But man, it's so fucking good. It's really good.
It's on my radar. It's something I've been wanting to watch for a long time. I also had the debate of like how I want to experience it because I know that the Netflix version has the Hindi version.
Yeah.
But I believe the Telugu is considered the one that everyone wants, or the one that is like the canon. I don't want to say canon.
Well, that's the OG one.
That's
that's
the one that
actual-
they're like, hey, this is the one. But I don't think that's on
Yeah.
Netflix. Am I correct? Unless they added it recently.
I know they have the Hindi, they have the English dub, and I think they have another couple others, but I'm not sure if they have the Telugu.
Got it. But yeah, I'll look into it. And I know, Frank, this is a movie I did want to watch with you. So yeah, keep that in mind.
It's fantastic. If y'all want to do a watch party too, I'm down.
You know what?
I'm down
We're going to
to
do a
rewatch
double
this
feature.
movie.
We're going to watch RRR and then follow that up with Clerks 3 because we still haven't seen Clerks 3. Okay.
Clerks 3.
All right.
It's like a 6-hour day.
It's a
I was about to
I
say,
was
I'm
like,
like, how much day do y'all have
Yeah.
with it?
Man, during the pandemic, we had all night. Those are the
RRR is 182 minutes. I just wanted to give you guys.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm like, that's Lord of the Rings length.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, I just got those on Blu-ray.
this
I'm
is
very
the
excited to
norm.
watch those.
Yeah,
This is the
in
norm,
Bollywood and Tollywood, like that
Yeah,
is
this is
that
the
is
norm.
it.
If your
Yeah.
movie is less than 2 hours, that's like a failure. Honestly,
It's
Oh,
like
wow.
it's like a less than 2 hour movie is like a 73-minute movie here. Like,
yeah. Because in India, when they have I don't know if they do this anymore, but when back in the day they used to have intermissions for their
Mhm.
movies, and so people would take like 10-15 minutes, go get what they needed, and then they come back.
Got it.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, Shotgun, thank you so much for telling us. Wait, there's something you missed.
I'm watching this. Like y'all
Oh, yeah.
y'all got me in.
No, watch that for sure.
watch RR, Sebastian. But
Oh, God. This is what you're saying.
here is where we make the show as long as RRR.
Oh, God.
So, Bad Batch came back. I was excited, but I was just like, I'm like, this isn't something. Like, I really enjoyed the first season, but it's not something. And then a little tweet came out from the creator saying, "Hey, I made this episode this season, and my references for this were episode 1 Racer." Now, I don't know if you know a little thing about me. Give me just a second while I vamp.
All right. For audio
I like the
listeners,
build up.
Audio listeners, Nick has disappeared into the background. Who knows how deep that room is? He is back.
Oh, there's a
in his
cat
chair.
back there though.
Oh, there's
There's
a
a
cat.
cat back there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
okay.
So he referenced, or they referenced, I don't know.
Thank you for being
but
respectful
they
for pronouns.
Yeah, let's say they referenced the fact that they based this episode around one Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. And that episode came out this week. Fuck, is it a great episode? It's not pod racing, but goddamn is it close. And the fact that I've been told by so many people that pod racing will never be a fucking thing in Star Wars again, and I have been proven right. It's coming back. They started it. Riot Racing is here. I think it's a great evolution. If that's all we get, I'm okay with that. But I want pod racing back. Let's get a pod racing show. Give me an animated pod racing show, even. I'll take it. This episode was fucking great. Tech came in. He's fucking there's such a great watch Bad Batch, anyways. But goddamn, just watch episode 4 of Bad Batch, and you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've ever loved pod racing, ever once in your life, watch this show, watch that episode, give your love on Twitter, say we want more pod racing. That's all. That's all we need.
First of all,
Shotgun, you got me. You
Oh,
got
there
me.
you go.
I'm signing the petition.
Got
You
one.
got me.
Got
Let's
one.
go. More pod
I gotta
racing. Let's
respect.
go.
I gotta respect Shotgun and also you, Sebastian, for both just doing wrestling WWE promos on this podcast. And I respect the
Let
shit
me
out of
tell
it.
you, President Jet Tully wants to take pod racing away from us, but it can never go. It's always here. It's always a part of the Star Wars history, brother.
All right,
You want to know something, Mean Gene? We need more pod racing. We gotta have it. We need more pod racing right
Give
now.
the people what they want. Harv, now it's your turn to do a voice.
I got nothing.
All right. All right. All right. Well,
But yeah, it's a great
I'll
episode.
be the
actually.
ref. I'll be the ref.
he's Mean Gene. All right.
Yeah, me and Gene just stands there like, so we're in Pontiac, Michigan. Here you go.
Pontiac, Michigan.
That I only say that because one of my favorite promos is when Randy Savage does the cream.
Oh,
crop
cream
bit,
with the crop.
and he says,
Oh,
"We're in
yeah.
Pontiac, Michigan for WrestleMania 37 or whatever." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got the cream," and he just like keeps pulling creamers out of like nowhere, out of nowhere.
Oh,
my
man,
God.
that's a good promo. But I think you're
Great
sleeping on
promo.
Ric Flair's promo.
Oh my god.
Like,
Oh yeah.
oh my God, man, you talking to the wheeling dealer? Woo! Jet flying, like, oh
Son
my
of a
goodness,
gun.
son of a gun. Yeah.
All right, first
and
of all,
I'm having a
you're
hard
both
time holding the.
Go ahead.
What? Which one?
I was sleeping on the dusty roads. Hard times. Hard times.
Oh my
Hard
goodness, so good.
All right. Enough. Got to pull it back. Thank you so much for your Bad Batch promo.
Yeah,
we brought you
so
on.
good.
I'm
That-
glad that there's something going on with pod racing.
The show's really good. The one episode they delve into Count Dooku's treasure, which is really cool.
Oh, that's.
But yeah, I actually Bad Batch is really cool. But I just want to say, pod racing, we're getting it. We have validation.
Okay.
We're here. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So I'm gonna call it audible, and I'm gonna cut the last section that obviously we were gonna do. I'm also gonna cut the what we've been listening section because there's one thing that we have to talk about because we've all watched it. We all want to talk about it, and we want to end on a decent manner with this podcast. And so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about a little thing called The Last of Us, HBO's The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann's, Craig Mason's Last of Us, Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey. Last of Us. Diego Luna. Okay, I can keep doing that all the time. But yeah, we're going to talk about The Last of Us. I talked a lot about it this week. Of course, you can check that out over at PlayStation Source with me and Kevin Diaz. So instead, I'm going to open up the floor to these fine folks. And first, I'm going to ask Harv. Harv, you've been sitting there dealing with the wrestling talk, the anime talk. I want to hear you talk about The Last of Us.
One of the best ways to intro a show, I think. That first 4 or 5 minutes was so fucking good. And like I've watched it over like 3 or 4 times because like it's just shout out to the Mummy, by the way. That's the guy from the Mummy. Shout
Oh
out
my
to him.
goodness. Yeah, I was about to say that
Oh,
No,
too.
it's the
yeah.
brother from the Mummy. Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, the brother from the Mummy. And
But they're from another mummy.
Shotgun.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna pay you $100. You need to make at least 5 TED Talks out of this video.
Done.
Cool.
It's
Sign the check.
it's the way that they set up the story because like obviously they set up the story during like the what's it called when the credits are happening in the game, right? They
Correct.
kind of tell you
Yeah.
what's going on and
Yes.
that kind of type thing. But them putting it all on there with like a something that's happening in 1968, I think it is
68 or 63.
63
Yeah,
or something like that.
I think
Yeah.
it's 68. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just such a great chilling way to like start the show.
Yeah.
And going into because like in the game you get pretty much you get one perspective, right? It's like you get Joel's perspective and obviously in The Last of Us Part 1. The thing about a show is that you can't do that. You have
Yeah.
to see the entire world, right? If you just see one part of it, it's not as compelling than watching a TV show. So seeing Sarah and doing her like, you know, everyday life kind of type thing was a really good way to like because we know what's gonna happen.
But
we know
by the way, just so I can preface for people,
spoilers.
we're gonna go full spoilers on this one
Full
because
spoilers.
yes, the game has been around for 10 years, but also you need to just watch it. We'll just say right now, everyone, we all think you should just go
Yeah.
watch it.
We all think it's
Personally.
perfect.
So if you want to say goodbye to the episode right now, that is fine. But thank you so much for being here. All right, Harv. continue. Oh, yeah. What?
I just wanted to say one. If you're leaving right now, listen to Salami Joe Rose Slobby Rose, Joe Lewis, and Paramore's new singles. Number 2, are we also covering the games as spoilers?
Yeah.
I must say, I would say part 1 only.
Yeah. Part
Give
one
people
only.
a chance to do part 2.
Yeah, part one only. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
I'll
that's
give
fair.
that. Yeah. Shout out to Sleep Token, Slake Squad, and Ghost, who I was going to talk about, but we're not going to. All right.
Yeah, just seeing her day to day, and then just like getting what she like, who she is and stuff like that.
Yes.
'Cause we don't really get that in the game, but it still hits hard, right? When what happens,
Yes.
like when it actually happens. But like this one just hit, man. After that happened, I had to like stop and just walk away from my screen.
Everything.
Like
Mhm.
I just had to, because it hits so hard every time I watch it or play it for The Last of Us, and I'm watching it in this form with Pedro Pascal just nailing it. And I forgot who the actress' name was.
Nico Parker.
Nico Parker.
Who's
Parker,
actually Tandy Newton's daughter.
Yeah, Tandy Newton from
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at a picture side by side. You're gonna be shocked.
Very. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They also have a podcast too, like an after show podcast on the HBO Max.
They
channel,
do, but ours is better. Just saying.
Ours is better. Neil
Also,
Druckmann, please don't kill me.
Guys, shout out to the grandma, because she fucking killed it.
Oh,
Oh my
Shout out to
goodness.
her.
So scary.
Shout out to the dog. Shout out to the
Shout out
dog
to the
acting.
dog. It's
So,
actually
like,
the dog of my dog skipped.
Yeah.
and pour one out for Debbie, because she got fucking destroyed right when she got out of the house. She was down.
Just done.
Yeah, she was done. But yeah, they added more to the world, which I didn't think they could, but they added the right stuff. There wasn't too much fluff to it.
The right
And
details.
there wasn't really any fluff to it.
Mm-mm.
So like, and then the changes that they had to make, like the plane, there were good changes. There were good changes.
Dude, the fucking fake out that they had when they didn't get
Yeah.
T-boned.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god! Like I remember I was watching it with my mom.
You're
and I'm
bracing
like,
yourself
oh
for
my
it.
god! Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's gonna happen. It's like, no, it didn't.
Yeah.
Dude, the way that when you get into the back of the truck and you're just like,
Mhm.
this is like the game, man. Like,
Yeah.
and you
You're
go that
spinning
little,
around.
that little,
The fucking sign is the same as the sign in the game.
Mhm.
I'll say this really quick. I actually played the beginning section of this game again after the episode ended, just so I could experience it one more time. And man, there's so many fucking wonderful things that they just
So much.
carried. My favorite thing, and I'm gonna just say it off the back, and of course, is my favorite line of all of Last of Us. Drugs. I sold hardcore drugs.
I said hardcore drugs.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
kept
line.
it.
They
They
kept
kept
it. And it worked.
And me and Frank had this discussion last podcast last week, where he was being reserved about it and stuff like that, which is understandable when it comes to these kind of IPs, right, and stuff like that. But if nobody has watched Chernobyl before from
So good.
Frank Mazzine, like, you gotta watch that show. Like, it is amazing, and that's why I was like, I really have faith in this show because of who's behind it, and also
agree.
Neil Druckmann is so involved in this show as well. So, yeah.
I
I
think he's
loved it.
a co-showrunner too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Which I think like the parts that they adapt like directly from the game are so well done in the fact that they could have just felt like shout out to the people who are acting in this, because like they could have just felt like, oh, you're just rehashing the source material, but it really feels like it gives new depth to the source material. Even like it gives a new perspective, just even like in the same lines that they say, let alone the additional stuff that we get. I think like again, I was talking to my mom about this, the part where they like I think what like really hits me for Sarah's death in the game is the fact that like not only is it Sarah's death and like the harshness of that and like how brutal that is. Mario, I won't forget you having me record Last of Us footage for Dual Shockers and having me cry while I'm just sitting here recording on my computer. But the fact that the title screen kicks in there, where it goes dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
Let's
and
talk
like
about the music. Oh my god.
oh yeah,
Oh my
it's
goodness,
so
phenomenal.
fucking well done.
Factions
But like
music.
I think
Factions music was
Did
in the
you
episode.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah. And but I think like what's so powerful there for me is like because the theme is basically like showing the how bleak things are and like how it's like a perfect transition to the 20 years later. I think what they do in this instead of doing the title screen is going from that just heartbreaking moment of this, like not only this child but this child that is Joel's daughter just losing her life in the beginning of this whole thing, and then just see 20 years later when we get the kid and they're walking towards the
Boston.
the Fedra,
Mhm.
and they're like, it's okay, you're gonna have the best toys, you're gonna have all the toys that you want. And I'm just like, don't humanize these guys, don't fucking humanize this authoritarian regime. And they don't. It's like it's all a ploy, because it's just like then the next scene you see him throwing the child's body on the flame, and it shows the dichotomy of like this is just him, like this he's
Mhm.
lived this, like he
Yeah.
lived that was when he died, that's when Joel died, and he's like, no, I'm just this broken man. Like,
This is the first show that I actually watched with my mom, and she didn't fall asleep, because when I remember introducing The Walking Dead to her, she was a big fan for a couple of years. Eventually, it died. The fandom for her that died off, and so it's like, hey, I got something better, and it's just like that, but way cooler. And we got to that exact part, and she's like, wait, was that the kid? I'm like, that was the kid, Mom. Like, that's the kid from earlier. I was like, what the hell?
yeah,
It's like, what's going on? Like, you just killed 2 kids in like 10 seconds.
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
And I love that they're showing the like the real like authoritarian, where like we're trying to keep people safe, but are you actually trying to keep people safe? Because the people that are in your area are really it's a really rough regime, I will say.
Straight up, you
Um,
step a lot of line, you're getting shot or you're getting hung.
Yeah, like,
Mhm.
and it's the quote unquote law and order state of thing, and it makes it a whole police state. And I think like it shows, I'm like, okay, that not only are they not humanizing them, but they're showing how like brutal they are and how strict they are with their rules, even if it's just a kid, or if it's like no, we're trying to keep people safe, But what does safe mean when, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think even that just little moment, they do so many things like that that's just empower the story, even when they change things. Because I think it's easy to see this as a story that is adjacent to the Last of Us. Like it's like it's kind of like a alternate timeline. There's certain things that are very different from the game. But I think like I think they do a great job of expanding it, but also like keeping it like, oh, this is kind of like bits of the lore, like when they talk about Tommy being in Desert Storm, and like just like little bits here's and there's that fleshes out those characters.
Yeah.
And I think
The Tess and
there's
Joel
so many
relationship.
the Tess and Joel relationship, like further saying like, yep, they were intimate, but even still they don't say it's explicitly like, okay, how intimate were they? Were they a relationship out of the whole
Joel's little
convenience
spoon.
of it all? Yeah, like were they the was kind of
I heard that.
just I realized. But yeah, the I think they're like, are they a relationship out of convenience? Are they a relationship like actually are they in love? Which is probably gonna be real rough coming the second episode.
Yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, so so I think that this show does such a great job of adding pieces in and adapting it to where like, okay, we obviously can't do this whole gameplay section. So instead, we're actually going to add things like the person on the radio, getting like the different radio broadcast, and Tess's interaction with Robert. I think it's done masterfully and far and away the best video game adaptation.
Yeah, Sebastian, what are your certain thoughts of the trajectory of this adaptation and where you see it going in the next 9 episodes?
I echo everything y'all have said so far. I think that if this keeps in pace with what we've seen from the premiere episode, this is going to be the best video game adaptation that we've gotten so far of all time, and it's going to change things. Like if we get this same level of quality throughout the entire length of this season, everything changes as far as the way people see video game adaptations going forward. Like a new bar will be set. Like this and Mario are both going to do something very different to video game adaptations, but like if both of them nail it, like this is going to be the new normal. Now we're going to see PlayStation and probably Xbox, probably more so on the Nintendo thing, like absolutely go balls to the wall and full fledged, like 100 miles per hour into making everything possible a adaptation. And you know, I know a lot of people are going to think like, hey, we should give Witcher more love as like the initiators of this live action like movement, but Witcher doesn't appeal to the main audience like this has the power to.
Plus, The Witcher isn't on the games, right? It's on the books.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah,
It does have
it's
that.
like, it's teeters it like.
But
Yeah.
I think it's like it started out as the books, but then it popularized by the game. I think like
Yeah, that's why the
but it
fucking
still
sales
has it still
skyrocketed.
yeah, it still has that that middle ground that you have. Like it started from books, whereas this is a direct adaptation. And I think if they do things like work with the people behind the games, which they're doing now, which I think is why this adaptation is so successful, and like Craig Mazin being such a fan, I think that's why it works so well. I mean, we're getting I don't know if y'all saw, but we saw the behind the scenes of the Gran Turismo game or movie, and
I thought there was a TV show. It's a movie. That's crazy.
Yeah.
which I think will be a fine movie.
It's
Like,
got to be
we'll
better
see.
than a TV show. How are you going to do
Yeah.
like 12 episodes about Gran Turismo?
Fair.
I think you could. Because there's
think
such
so?
a loose story there. Like you could have like this rise again, like sports anime of a rise of this rising star.
We'll get
but I think like
7 movies
ahead, sorry.
and a season called Turismo Sport. So there you go.
yeah,
No, okay. And then you have Twisted Metal is also
Yeah, Twisted Metal,
going to
getting
be
Twisted Metal.
adapted. I have a strange theory. This is just veering off subject for a little bit. Nintendo's just planning their basically Nintendo verse for all their movies. Like because like in the trailer we got like a kind of like a snippet to where they talked about like, hey, which world are you kind of from? Whenever they were talking about like Mario and like the pipes can travel in between universes and
They were
worlds.
talking about galaxies as well.
Galaxies, yeah.
If they are not setting up the multiverse of Nintendo to do a Smash Brothers movie, then what the fuck are they doing?
and
Yeah,
then when
I
we
mean-
get think about when we get like the DLC phase, we get like Kingdom Hearts movies, we get
That ain't happening, but
Fantasy
keep dreaming.
movies.
It's like,
We get a Fire Emblem movie because you know it's gonna happen.
oh, we're definitely getting
Yeah.
100%.
You know
Except-
they have to pay homage to like in game where like all these characters come out their version of the portal, so to speak, and they're all like standing up to the hand just floating off in the
Yeah,
distance.
the mystery. Yeah, the white,
Yeah,
the
white
glove
hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I can see
just
that.
see
Yeah.
it going.
Yeah, you see
I
like
just
you see like Mario, you see Link, and then you see Donkey Kong all standing there looking like Captain America, Iron Man, and
Yeah,
Thor,
you know,
and then
They gotta.
Yeah,
If
and
they
then
don't
they're-
do it, then what
No.
the fuck's the point?
You know what we
yeah,
need,
for
guys?
real.
You know
no,
what we
they
need?
fight. They fight like in the original commercial.
Mhm.
Oh, man. That'd be great.
You know what they need? They need to have a movie on each of the Smash Brothers characters, and then they have an ensemble movie with all.
Oh yeah,
of
for
them.
sure,
That's what I'm saying.
for sure.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong's got to be next. Like
Donkey Kong
Kong's
has
gotta
got to be next. I agree.
I want
with
to see
that.
I want to see a NES movie. Okay, I want to see Earthbound come in somehow.
I would give
Animal Crossing
so
is just
much.
begging to be a television show.
I would
Real
give
talk.
so much for a fucking Earthbound.
Real talk. I wouldn't be surprised if like Donkey Kong and Captain Toad both come out within like a year of Mario.
Yeah.
Because like
I mean,
you don't get
Captain Toad's coming after Mario for sure because he's
For
going to be in the
sure.
movie.
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'm like, you don't get those quality of actors in for just one role. Like they've probably got them nailed for like 4 movies minimum. So, but going back to The Last of Us and what it kind of means, because we did like I did
you.
veer us off a little bit. My bad.
Like, shit, I forgot what we're doing.
But yeah, like going back to The Last of Us, like I think this premiere was masterful, absolutely masterful. I can't wait to see what they have going forward. And again, if they nail this, like everything changes. Like when people hear about like a new adaptation coming, they're going to be thinking like, if it is that same pedigree, then everything's going to be okay. We're going to get something masterful there. But you know, like as long as like we don't get the muddied waters of like mediocrity that we've gotten with video game adaptations over the past like 30 years, then we'll be good. But like this has the potential to be that bookmark that completely changes the landscape of everything going forward, where you hire premier actors, where you hire premier writers, where you have premier studios actually do your adaptations. This should change everything going on with the Horizon games. The Horizon adaptation. Like they should see this. They should go like, okay, we're scrapping everything that we had planned. Get all the premier actors, all the best writers. We're gonna make this like Netflix should want to compete with HBO as regarding this. And I think that's just a statement on how good this show actually is.
I agree. They need to get Tom Holland back up in shape for Uncharted 2, but make it a direct sequel to Uncharted 2. That'd be great. But yeah, I think
it was funny because I saw some tweets that was like, look, imagine getting your IP to have like this faithful an adaptation, and then you look at Halo and you're like, what?
Exactly.
God, yeah.
Listen, they're getting dragged in the mud this week. You know, I'm not gonna say anything bad about Halo. Okay.
Like Netflix should be going all in on their anime lineup, because like Cyberpunk Edge Runners proved that they have something special there. I'm like, can you imagine what like if they brought like the Hades team on board to do a Hades anime oh my goodness.
This is the thing. Like, I don't think you need to like adapt something word for word.
Yeah.
Like, look at Cyberpunk Edge Runner, for example,
Well,
right? That's
that
that's kind of like a side thing, right? That's in the
Mhm.
world. Just you can have like a side story within that world.
Yeah, I want to bring up.
Yeah, for sure.
Karf brought up. Yeah, there's been a trend with the good adaptations with Arcane, Edge Runners, and Castlevanias. I would argue those are all animated and cartoony. Though,
Yeah,
I think
this is different.
Have a lot more leeway with those because those budgets can theoretically be endless. But with this, for them to having said budget for the show and to be this close to as faithful, I think this is a win overall in terms of live action.
I think I push back on the fact that they're cartoony.
No, I'm not saying
like,
anything bad about them being cartoony. I'm just saying.
I know you're not saying anything bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like not bringing them like the merit that they do. But I think the difference between them is the fact that they kind of don't really have a jumping off point. I guess Cyberpunk kind of does, but like they don't really have a jumping off point to adapt. Whereas like Last of Us is the show, and like something that I brought up early on when they announced the show was the fact I'm like, how cool would it be to like have each of the characters that they meet along the way like be the main focus of every episode, and then they meet Joel and Ellie, and then it's that
like an anthology series, but that has a mainline point.
Which it does seem like looking at like the next week or whatever, like the on this season of The Last of Us, like the Bill and Frank stuff, like seems to be like they're a focused episode, which kind of like seems to be what. Yeah,
you don't have too much like leeway really. You only have 9 episodes to tell your story, right? So you kind of have to like go through this really, really quickly. One of the things I'm really happy at is that it is a show and not a movie, because I think you can flesh out these characters so much more when it comes to a TV show and stick with them, because like when we get to the part of when the bunny thing happens, you guys remember the little bunny where he shot that part. That when that scene happens, like when we go through all of that shit's gonna hit hard, and I think people are gonna get devastated when that part happens. It's gonna be something.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, the expectations for anime and animation is quite different than it is for live action. And like, whether we like it or not, like we're nerds here. We love all things, anime and animation. Like the mainstream audience in our areas, in our regions, don't necessarily gravitate to that. Like this has mainstream appeal because it is live action. And then, so the bar is very much different for this adaptation versus anything that released animation in anime previously. So like, yeah, this has the potential to be like the next big thing, like in television. Like this has the potential to be up there with Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, basically any IP that's like out there and well established. This has the potential to match it, if not supersede it.
Yeah, this will be our Iron Man in a lot of ways. I think all the stuff preceded it is, all the other MCU movies, not MCU. I'm sorry. Well, kind of extended universe.
I thought Sonic was Iron Man.
The MC University. The
Sonic
MC
was Incredible
University
Hulk.
movies.
Movies.
Sonic's the Incredible Hulk movie.
Yeah.
It's kind
This
of
is
their
Iron
Owned
Man.
by a different studio, but
Mhm.
still part of the universe
you know,
technically.
it is what it is. What it is.
I think like to that point, like unfortunately animation isn't given its due, and a lot of people do write it off. So I think that it's harder to get audiences that aren't already invested in a game, movie into or a game or a game into the anime or a animated any animated property of it.
To be clear, that was
but
me
I
also
think-
calling out
No,
those specifically. It was simply just to say, yes, those can work. It's been proven in the animated
Yeah.
form. We want to see it in now with actors. That's all.
Right. And that's the thing is like I think that the while this isn't necessarily the first video game
Double
adaptation
Dragon,
that's got it right.
Mortal Kombat.
I think that this will be the one where it's like I think all of them have been like companions to the maybe barring Arcane because it's League, you know, whatever.
Mhm.
But like it's like companions to the source material itself. Whereas I think that this is the standpoint where it's like, yes, this is something that I would recommend somebody play the game if they haven't as well. Because it does do so much to add and change. I mean, if you watch it and that's your only viewpoint of it, great. But I think like this will get people to be like, okay, let me see how the video game
Exactly.
will popularize. So,
Exactly, because all the other things we named, like a Sonic or like a Mario, already has like a mainstream appeal to where the people know what those games are when they think about it. People like you hear those IPs, they already know. I can't go to my mom and my grandmother and say like, "Hey, The Last of Us," and they know what the hell I'm talking about. But after this show, there's intrigue there. There's like, even if they don't necessarily play the games, it'll be on their radar.
Shout out to Detective Pikachu, a fantastic film.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
film.
I hope it has the staying power. That's the one thing
Yeah.
that I'm hoping that this show does that has, because like it's like week by week shows usually decline in viewership just to get just how it goes. So I'm hoping that as every week comes in, people are still talking about it during the week, and then when Sunday rolls around, we're like,
Yeah.
okay, and then we have that again, like we did with like Game of Thrones and stuff like that.
It being its second biggest opening after it was 10 million viewers were for House of D,
For House of Dragon.
and
House
then
of the Dragon, yeah.
4.3 or 6 for this, which is not nothing to shake.
That's not bad for a new IP.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I
Yeah.
will say, like, I watched it with my mom, and my mom and I played the game before the
This
show
is
came
a
out.
show you
Not-
watch with your mom, by the way. Watch with your mom.
Yeah, this is a show with you watch with your mom. 100%. And we played the game. We played up until the before you officially meet. In the block. And she like actively was like, I can't wait for next week. Can we play the game? Like,
Yeah.
so there is that, like, my mom is not a gamer. Like she loves Miss Pac-Man, but that's like the only real thing that she like really has delved into. Mario, or all your stuff that people who have played games but aren't like gamer. Like, I'd say that, but like, you know what I mean. Like they're not like us where they're consuming games regularly. This may get them to play something like that and then see like, okay, like this narrative exists in games, and really realize that the possibilities of games, how good they can.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping for the day that my mom asks me for my PS4.
Yeah.
Let's be real. A lot of those people who are just, like surface level gamers, the people who might just play like the Maddens, the 2Ks, or the Call of Duties of the world, like this is like an entry point to where now they're going to be like, hey, I got to check that game out. Like and this is why Sony masterfully made like The Last of Us Part 1, because they knew this they had faith in it. They knew they were going to nail it, and they knew, like, especially with episode 1, that there was going to be a wave of people who wanted to replay that game all over again.
That's why I replayed the PS4 version. I was just like, I gotta try it again.
So Karl asked, "Can I confirm this with my mom?" My mom would start watching, and she'd be like, "Where's the Indian news? I need you to put the Indian news on. I don't know what I'm watching right now." That's what she'd be saying. That is exactly what she would be saying, and yeah,
Fair.
down,
Fair.
down.
All right.
Man.
My parents' English is not very good, so they wouldn't really understand what's going on.
Gotcha.
Oh my goodness. Can we talk about how good the infected looked in this though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
in the
gosh.
diner when they were
Yeah.
facing the diner. Oh my god,
Oh.
that
The
was
tendrils?
insane.
Tendrils coming
Did
out of the
you-
mouth.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the tendrils. Oh.
Did y'all see at the very end?
Yeah.
That clicker on one of the
Yeah.
Mhm.
Saw the clicker. Yeah. Saw the
I
clicker
pointed
on
out
the
to my
building.
mom the other day. She's like, "Oh my god, there it is."
Shout out to Depeche
Oh.
Mode blowing up on TikTok, by the way. Fuck yeah. That's awesome. That was a nice surprise too, is knowing that.
What a great moment that is too. Oh, it was something in the 80s. Like, oh, and he reacted bad. It's just like, haha, I got you.
Got
Like,
you. That
she's
means
so
something.
good as Ellie.
They're good. They're so good. Pedro Pascal.
They're all good.
God.
Mhm.
Dude,
Tommy.
fucking shout out to Gabriel Luna.
Yeah.
Fucking nailing Tommy. Like, not just like
You-
everyone's doing a fucking bang up
All right.
job, but like he is Tommy.
I gotta
Like,
point that out because I watched some of the interviews and they're like, we kind of played the game, but we didn't because we didn't want to be influenced, blah, blah, blah. No, Gabriel Luna's a fucking gamer. That motherfucker played part
That
one and
motherfucker
part two
knows.
before this.
Dude,
It was
I,
like-
I didn't know if it was the game or him when he was on the phone. I was
Yeah, I know.
like,
Yeah.
is this
You gotta get me out,
straight
Joel.
from the game?
You gotta get me out, Joel.
Mhm.
Also, shout out to the woman that played.
Oh, Marlene?
Marlene.
Yeah.
Marlene,
coming back. Like
Mhm.
fucking fan.
And just girl bossing in it and kicking ass. Like, just like, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
I'd follow there. Yeah.
I don't know.
You
I
don't have
laughed.
an ear.
Yeah, I laughed at that part. I just like, oh my
So
God.
funny.
They're so, Gina, they're just so good. So good.
So where do y'all want the season to end? At what point in the game?
I
Do y'all
want
want
it-
it to just go
End
through
of
the
the
whole
game.
game?
I want it to
Mhm.
be, tell me. It's like, I want that final moment.
I want the last line to be. Okay.
Okay.
Here's my.
You know what I want.
What?
I want them to do that exactly that,
Mhm.
and have a post-credit scene to tease The Last of Us Part
Yes. The
Somehow.
Abby.
Mhm.
So I have a
Yeah.
theory, and I don't know this, and I have people that have seen the
Yeah.
entire show, but they won't. I don't want the answer.
Yeah.
They could easily cast an Abby now
Oh yeah, for sure.
and have those scenes in the final episode.
2. What if they already did and nobody fucking
That's what I'm
knows?
saying, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, that would be fucking incredible. Because they
Just wanna
they have the
pause real
knowledge
quick.
of Forsyth.
We're kind of spoiling Twas part 2.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
a character.
just the
I just
name-
want to
just the
reference.
name of
of
Abby,
course,
yeah.
of course. There's a character named
We're
Abby.
being very loose. We're being very
Mhm.
fast and
course.
loose with it. I just want to preface.
Fuck you,
I'm-
Garth. I just read his thing. But yeah, I'm very.
I was a little worried that they're going to wait until like maybe that you know how the game like separates itself by like spring, fall, and
Yep.
winter. I'm a little worried that there might like get to a certain point in winter and just like that's going to be the season finale, and then
No, I
like,
think they've already
They
confirmed that it's the
Sounds
first
like
game.
they're-
Okay,
They have
making sure,
confirmed that
making
game.
sure.
You can
Okay.
not without spoiling too much, but in this season on Last of Us, you see,
Okay, I didn't
you
see
one
that
shot,
part.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're
We're
gonna
going
get
there.
there. They're gonna get there.
Mhm.
yeah.
Uh,
So
That's
That's why I think like since they've confirmed that it's gonna be the first season is the first game, I think
Yeah.
that'd be a really good way to just be like, you know what? Let's tease the second season, which is gonna be the second game.
yes. Which shout out.
I gotta shout that out. Because
Yeah.
like like a lot of shows and a lot of like studios would want to drag a success story to the ground.
I know of one.
The rumor. Shut up. Not break. Don't
Oh,
summon.
no.
Don't summon.
Oh, no.
Don't summon.
someone
Don't
feed.
summon her. Hold on. The rumor is though that season 2 would be 2 seasons. Because
Okay.
that does seem to be
Yeah.
a season you could expand upon, honestly.
Mhm.
I wonder if they did that, first part of season 1 would be like that one part of the story, and then
Uh-huh.
season 2 would be the other part of the story because
that would fuck me up internally.
Oh man, I'd be
That would fuck me up internally if they did that, and I really hope they don't. I did want to shout out Jordan Deeb from Shared Screens because there was a moment on Twitter that we had where they were talking about doing a season 2 or whatever. Like, how are they going to age Bella Ramsey up? For the she's just too young for season 2. And I'm like,
what?
do you know how old Ellie was in part
Thank
2?
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're literally
They're the same
aren't they?
age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had a fun moment together, and that made me laugh. I was just like, they're the same age, man. It's like, dad damn. So I'm excited for when that happens.
So, is there a moment in the game that you can't wait to see reenacted in the show?
The giraffes.
The giraffes for sure. The hospital.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's a good one.
But honestly, one that I'm really excited to see them not retell but expand on is both the Bill and Frank stories and the Sam and Henry. And the fact that the Sam and Henry story is actually going to break me even more. Than
That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm
Fuck.
internally tearing up as I think about it.
Mhm.
As I think of this, as I'm thinking about this game at this point, are we gonna have this moment in like almost every episode? Because like looking at the game,
Yeah.
you're just like,
Mhm.
wait, so many characters. I was just like, oh no, man, we're gonna go
Listen.
through this like 4 times this
I
season.
could go play by play of what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Just from the trailer alone, too, I was just like, oh, fuck, this is going
Let
to be
me
the
tell
fucking
ya.
game.
I mean,
Next episode is no different.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The next
Yeah.
the next episode is gonna be what we know it's gonna be, and then I
Yeah.
think probably 2 episodes or the episode after that is the Bill and Frank one.
I
Bill?
hear
Mhm.
that episode 3, the Bill and Frank episode,
Yeah.
and is devastated.
It's the longest. It's the second longest episode.
It's
of
the second
season.
Yeah.
The episode after that's probably the Henry one,
No, maybe a little later.
No, I would
That one
say
more
5 maybe.
That one
or
baby
they would
Tommy.
do the
That one would be
Left
Tommy.
Behind one, maybe, because that's gonna have its
That's
own
got to
episode
fit
too.
in there somewhere. That
See,
might be
I
later.
don't- I don't think that's going to be an episode. I feel like
I
that's
think it's
gonna be
flashbacks.
flashbacks,
Mhm.
and I think not.
Fair.
And I think that's going to be flashbacks right where we see the flashbacks in The Last of Us in the DLC, where
Mhm.
she has she's going and she is the only one that is
maneuvering while
able-bodied at the
someone
point.
recovering.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wondering.
And
If
then
they're- I
goes-
actually thought
goes
they would
back and
cut.
forth.
I thought that they might cut that section out with the rebar,
Mhm.
only because I would see how that could drag the show down a little bit. But I don't know. Maybe I'm curious, man. There's still
But I
so
feel like
much.
that's a pivotal part for Ellie, though. That's
There
a
is
pivotal
that
part
is a
for her.
pivotal part
Yeah.
for Ellie, and they might handle it a different way. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll fucking see, man.
And I don't think you
I-
tackle as much. Like I think a lot of, while it is a lot of narrative left behind, I feel like a lot of it too is play. I feel like
Yeah.
you can condense those parts down and
Yeah.
still be impactful, while also giving Ellie that same moment, and then leading up to David. I think the David part is gonna be fucking. Oh my god, that's gonna fucking.
Oof.
Ugh.
I
You
can't
remember
wait
the?
Sorry.
I was gonna say, you remember I think it was a bloater that grabs Joel out of the wall and like throws him across the room, and you're like trapped in that small space with him. I wonder how they're gonna do that. in the
Oh,
show.
I'm
yeah.
so excited to see how they do the practical
Huh.
like and
Effects for that?
the
Mhm.
types of clicker, like the bloater, and like I talked to my mom about it actually. I was like, "Do you think they're gonna do the bloater?" And she's like, "They have to." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's fucking go, mom."
The fact that your mom said that, that's
Yeah, I'm
so
like,
hype.
let's fucking
so
go,
hype.
like-
Because she hasn't seen the trailers either, right?
No, well, and we've only got up to that point too.
Mhm.
So she's she has seen like the next this season on. Last
Yeah.
Mhm.
But not
And
like the main
she
trailer that
actually
shows the bloater.
it's yeah, it's so funny that she we've only got up to the point where just before you meet Tommy, because she's like, Tommy's alive.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we're really close to that part.
Mhm.
That's incredible. All right, that's awesome. All
Also,
right,
shout out to Anna Torv, great actress.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
what is I'm forgetting the name of them, but what are the infected where like they're kind of like always they're like sneaking around you? They're kind of like
The
being
runners?
quiet.
There's runners.
Is that
there's
runners? Is what they're
clickers-
called?
There's clickers, and then there's oh my god, there's another one.
You know the ones that kind of crawl on the ground and they wait until you're like distracted a little bit and then they kind of run towards you.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm trying to remember what they are.
I'm like I just wonder if we're gonna see them in this as well because I'm like they have
And
a
I think a lot of infected we're gonna see next episode, because we got that one part before getting into the capital.
Yeah, I'm curious how
It's,
they're
like,
gonna
Yeah.
get there.
filled.
Yeah. There's
So,
a whole
I think-
50 minutes that we're gonna have to deal with.
55, I think. But I mean,
Yeah.
Shout out to them for giving us like some meaty episodes too, because this last one I think was what
Well,
86 minutes.
This one
'Cause
in
it's
the
a movie length,
podcast, in the podcast, they say right where Joel throws the kid's body in the fire is the split of the episode. So it was supposed to be 2 episodes.
So shout out for them for giving us. But yeah, like I think the ones I was thinking about were stalkers. So there's
Yeah.
runners, there were stalkers, clickers, bloaters, and shambler was like the types in the 5, and the stalkers were the ones that kind of like stealthily kind of move around you while you're trying like kind of in the world, and kind of when you're distracted they kind of sneak up on you and try to get you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm really excited for the practical horror.
Yeah,
Really
if there's any
emphasize.
indication in this episode, it's gonna be fucking scary. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
very excited for that. But I think that's overall gonna end our talk really here on Last of Us and really wrap up the show. I want to thank everyone for being here, spending the last few hours of your day. Of course, this has been the Point in Progress podcast. Again, thank you so much, Sebastian. Where can I'm gonna have you a second chance to hit a promo. Where can people find you?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, everyone, you can find me, yours truly, Sebastian Malden, on the Single Player Experience podcast, the dopest single player podcast for single player gamers who want to know about all the good single player games to play right now. So if you want to know about the good single player games, the bad ones, and everything in between, check out the Single Player Experience podcast.
All right. Fantastic. Again, check out all of Sebastian's videos. They're really fun, really well written from the heart, and I really respect that. So again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course. Thank you so much for shouting out to the void, and then I listened. All right, that's great. Perfect.
Shoot your shot, everybody.
Shoot your shot. That's all that matters. That's right. And like this little boy's got into my DMs this morning. Nick, where can people find you? What have you been up to?
Friends, Romans, treat them. You can find me at
You had it.
almost had it. I had it. You can find me everywhere at Shotgun McPayne. That's SHOTGUNMCPAYNE. Pretty much everywhere. You can also find me my glorious edit over at a channel at youtube.com/at Norza. Added the at. Norza, NORZZA. We're making some great Witcher content right now. Builds. We're going to be going back to Elden Ring. Doing that soon, so be on the lookout for that. I think there was actually a video I edited recently that just released Elden Ring PvP stuff.
All right, cool.
Yeah, because they just had the PvP update recently with their Coliseum stuff and all that kind of stuff too. Yeah, everybody go check out Norza as well. Norza he's a really, really cool guy from Australia. He makes some you and him make really, really good content, and it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah, this keyboard I'm using is because I won a contest from Norza. So thank you.
Boop, boop.
Boop, boop. Harv, what are you doing these days, and which Bloodborne game are you playing?
Sekiro is what I'm playing. It's like pretty much fucking spin the wheel and see what I get. You know, that's really kind of what I'm looking at right now. My plan, one of my goals, in the next couple months is to finish every single one of them in a day. But I'm gonna try to see if I can get that scheduled, because I've gotten pretty proficient at finishing them all now at this point. Like I've gotten them down to like 3 or 4 hours each now. So
That is amazing.
Yeah, except Demon Souls, because that one is annoying.
Fuck.
Yeah, because that one you have to fight all the bosses to get to the end. All the other ones you can skip, like 70 or like 30% of the bosses or so, because like not all of them are mandatory. But yeah, other than that, I'm back on. Like I finally put out a YouTube video a couple days ago on the state of Xbox on my channel, and if they're gonna be doing well in 2023. Spoiler alert, I think they will be. Maybe not Starfield, but we'll see. We'll see.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I honestly,
Spice.
the one thing I will say is that Starfield is gonna come out in the fall of this year. And if it doesn't, it's gonna get pushed to 2024, because they already have 4 games lined up or 3 games lined up for the first year for the first part of the year. And you don't release Starfield in the summer. Come on, that's
I don't think they care. I don't think they care. I think they need something so bad right now.
Well, if Redfall hits, I think
Redfall will hit in March. I think
Yeah.
Redfall will be March.
Mhm.
if Redfall
And
hits,
then-
they delay Starfield.
Forza Motorsport will be, I think, probably a couple of months after. I think
I heard Forza.
Forza will be like a couple
the
months
virtual
after,
podcast.
and then after that, Starfield will come out probably in the full time. Because man, Bethesda needs all the time that they can get for that game. Guarantee it.
Oh man, I'm right there with you because I was not sold based on what we've seen so far. I'm hoping their exclusive showcase on that game makes it look a lot better than what we saw earlier. But I'm very much getting 8 out of 10 vibes out of that.
And that game is locked at 30 FPS on console. Good luck, have fun.
Ugh. That's Gotham Knights, man. Ugh.
Steam Deck.
All right.
That game, that thing will like burn. Your Steam Deck will spontaneously combust when you're playing that game.
My Steam Deck spontaneously combusts anyways. I just send it back. I'm getting it tomorrow.
Oh, of course, you can find me here at Point in Progress, where I do the main podcast with all my 5 lovely people, including MC University is another show that we do that is coming back soon. An episode has been recorded. We will continue to record backlog episodes before we release them, so that way we'll be pretty much running, because that show's almost done. We're actually like to the end of that, which is going to be the first major completed thing for Point in Progress, and honestly, one of the longest completed things that I've done, because I clearly didn't finish Halo Forever. So look out for that. And yeah, I'm very, very excited for all the content coming out for Point in Progress in 2023. You can find me at @Rivera on Twitter, where I do all my musings and all my my thirst traps. And then yeah, I think that's basically it. I think we're just gonna wrap it up with everything here. So again, if you've been joining us in the chat, which of course we're doing this live now when we do recordings, otherwise our YouTube videos are live, or at least promoted on Tuesdays, so you can go ahead and see what you missed out on. But otherwise, I think that's about it, and progress has been made. Goodbye, everyone.
We're talking about practice.
Practice, which I had no idea was ripped from a Allen Iverson interview. That's
Yeah, for sure.
fucking crazy. When I watched the back-to-back, I was like, that's incredible.
I mean, when you look at the the OG why that's happening, it's pretty heartbreaking for Allen Iverson. But like the meme of it is fucking hilarious though. Like we talking about practice. We ain't even talking about a real game.
No.
Not the game that I put my heart and soul into. But we're talking about practice.
Man, that dude was the Charlie Sheen of his time. I loved me some AI.
Oh, dude, AI. That guy was the epitome of like just shit off court, but amazing on the court. Just amazing on. I mean, he was a good person off the court because he helped all of his homies out and everything too, right? But that's the reason why he lost most of his money, because he was helping a lot of people out.
Got it.
But
yeah,
like,
I've always said he's like the Mike Tyson of basketball.
Yeah, he's so fucking good though. He was so good in his prime for the 76ers.
Yeah. And that's been the podcast, everybody. I hope you guys had a good time in the chat. I want to thank Fargo Brady for stopping by. I want to thank Karl for just dropping off the weeb stuff. Thank you so much for that. Fiona, who kept crashing the show. Thank you so much. Frank, who was dying. Thank you for stopping by. Carlos. And yeah, I think that's going to about put us in for now. Again, if you're here the whole time, thank you. If you're just showing in, this has been the Point in Progress broadcast. But we're going to take off now.
Also, you have an episode of the Model Citizen Show.
Yeah, it did. Came out today. That's right. Model Citizens is back. The boys are back in town. We apparently are stopping by the Quick Stop. We just made a random reference.
I
to a
love
store.
that.
Yeah,
I love that. That was a great bit.
Yeah, and then Max is back, and yeah, some other good, fun stuff happening in the world of the Model Citizen Show. So again, thank you so much. I'm gonna end the stream now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.